Burlington, Philadelphia. A Beasley Media Group station live from the Comcast Business Studio. Now it's time to Kincade and Salciunas is on.
Today's talk show for your morning drive.
The Eagles are NFC East champions for the second year in a row. They beat the Washington Commanders Saturday to clinch their second straight division title. The celebration can't last too long because they have to get ready for a tough matchup Sunday against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. Broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studios, here are your hosts John Kincade and Andrew Salciunas.
97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
And a good Monday morning, Philadelphia. 3 days from Christmas, John Kincade, and maybe more importantly, 1 day away from John Kincaid's birthday, everybody.
Or Festivus.
Or Festivus, depending on what you celebrate.
Whatever you celebrate, Festivus for the rest of us.
But before we do any of those celebrating, we get to celebrate the second straight win for the Philadelphia Eagles and the second straight division title for the Philadelphia Eagles after beating the Commanders on Saturday, which was beautiful, by the way. It was really nice to watch the game. We were just talking about it right before the show started. Our lives were impacted in great ways that it was like a Saturday, 5 o'clock. We had all day Saturday to do whatever we wanted. Then you had the night game with the Packers and Bears, which was insane afterward. And then yesterday we got to just relax because it felt good that the Eagles got the job done on Saturday.
That was fantastic. It wasn't bad at all.
No, it was actually great. I want more of this. More Saturday 5 o'clock games for us morning show people, please.
Well, they aren't allowed, remember, because of the congressional rules. They can't play the Saturday games till this time of year. So they're not allowed.
Make a phone call. Try to get the office to change that.
They're not allowed to do that.
I love the Saturday football. It was great.
Oh, it's absolutely awesome. So it was fantastic.
So the Eagles beat the Commanders 29-18, and once again a tale of two halves. Thanks to Jake Elliott, we'll talk about it in a little bit. But Eagles go to halftime trailing 10-7 to the Commanders. Eagles were moving the ball downfield. Obviously, costly penalties will continue to hurt them this year, but they're moving the ball downfield. If Jake Elliott makes one field goal, it's a tie ball game going into halftime. If he makes both of his field goals, they're winning at halftime. And I think we're talking a little bit differently about the first half performance because then the second half, they scored 22 points. Touchdown the third quarter, 15 in the fourth quarter. We'll get into the 2-point conversion. There's a lot to digest from this game. But, John, for the first time all season, I saw the Eagles do something all season. And it was make adjustments. And it was not be a predictable offense. It's amazing. There were 2 drives in the first half, one of which was basically all passes, and the other drive was all runs, right? It wasn't like, okay, this is what we do, so we're going to keep doing it. Now, look, in the second half, we saw them move the ball a little bit better when they went under center. I don't understand the first half. Let's go in the gun constantly.
Were you yelling at the TV?
Yes, I was.
Were you yelling at the TV going, what did we just see the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And why are we not doing it against a crappy Commanders team?
Yeah. Unless they were trying to try things.
Why?
I don't know.
Win the game first. Win the damn game first and then worry about trying things later. I didn't understand it.
No, I get it.
Didn't understand it at all.
But I liked the different look of the offense. It's the third straight week we're talking about how the offense looks different. Now, we can talk till we're blue in the face about whether or not this is going to win them something big picture. I just like little steps at a time right now. We're finally starting to see different things from the Eagles offense and not just this is what got us here last year, so we're going to do it again this year. I hated it. I hated the copy-paste mentality that they had. Then they had an identity crisis against the Chargers where they had Jalen Hurts throw the ball 40 times, which is not something that works with this football team. And maybe they're sort of coming into form of figuring out who they are as an offense.
And Saquon was my favorite part of it.
Yeah, he was great.
That was my favorite part of it.
21 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown.
We're all of a sudden seeing more holes being busted for him, and we're also seeing Saquon look more like Saquon.
Because the offense isn't predictable. That's the other thing. Like, you knew half the time what they were about to run. And this was the first game where I was going, wow, I did not expect that. Wow, that looked different. Wow, how about that? It was the first, and it looked clean, right? Like
No, it did look clean.
The Chargers game, they tried different things, but there was 4 interceptions thrown. The Raiders game, they did things differently, and then Jalen only ended up throwing the ball 15 times because they didn't have to, right? Because they were up big so early. This was kind of the first game where you're going, all right, finally. Why did it take this long? That's a different conversation. But 15 games into the season, I finally liked what I saw from the offense.
I did too, and glad to see it, and glad that the offensive line at least cobbled together something that was credible. And there were still too many run plays where they were just running Saquon right up the middle.
Right, and he's just
which
getting stuffed every time.
But again, he is now like what? He's now like 50 yards from being a top 7 rusher in the NFL in his terrible year. It's good. It's just good to see. I'm happy with that. AJ with a ton of targets, and he was producing.
Yeah.
And Dallas Goedert continues to be just that touchdown from Jalen to Dallas. That's one of the prettiest plays of the year.
Yes.
To me.
Completely agree.
And it was a clutch play from both of them.
Yeah.
And Dallas Goedert has been so clutch. But Jalen Hurts, that was clutch.
So that was
a huge play.
That was a play where I really hope the people that were way overboard just 2 weeks ago, wanting to bench Jalen Hurts or questioning the future of Jalen Hurts, or could this be the last year? There were people that were wondering, hey, would Howie make a drastic? We've seen it before with Carson Wentz. That was 2 weeks ago. And I wonder if a lot of people realized, all right, maybe I was a little over the top, or maybe I got my clicks for the week.
They got their clicks.
It was nonsense.
And today it'll be, do you believe what you saw?
Right.
Do you believe what you saw in Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts,
yeah,
you know what I do? Except for that one pass to AJ on the sideline where he overthrew him, he was tremendous all game long.
No, though, I'm gonna also though agree with Greg Olson on that. AJ's got to go up for that. He's got to at least give an attempt to go after that. Greg Olson flat out said, you got to go up for it. He goes, you may not land in bounds, but you got to go up for that. Got to make an attempt at it, but I didn't think it was.
I don't think he was going to get it.
I don't think it was a very good throw.
No, it was a horrible throw. But other than that, he was spectacular.
It was unbelievable.
And I wonder how many people realize they went overboard a couple of weeks ago.
There are so many things that I wake up today feeling just so much better about this team, and I think about all that they managed to do and all that they've done without Jalen Carter and without Lane Johnson.
Yep.
This run that they've been getting right on has been without, arguably, their most pivotal player on offense. Because Lane Johnson...
You know the record without him? Yeah.
Exactly. And then their most potentially pivotal player on defense?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's a credit to Fred Johnson and a credit to Jordan Davis, who was a beast yet again on Saturday.
And he's another one overcoming the slander police.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Because, but
he's being labeled a bust ever since he got drafted.
But he also, all of a sudden, took his conditioning seriously and things like that. So there's a lot that he's done to change that.
So the Eagles' offense, the diversity of the offense, the lack of predictability, which is a good thing for the Eagles' offense. For the first time all season, I saw it with both the passing attack and the rushing attack. Here was Nick Sirianni after the game on Saturday.
I think that when you're balanced and you can do both, they were doing some things there that they were playing some of their base personnel versus our sub personnel, so we spread them out, and Kevin did a really good job of calling that, and Jalen did a great job in the receivers and the protection and everything that goes along with it of moving the ball down the field. There's multiple ways to do it, right? You can scare a team out of doing that. Now they kept going back to it, but really good job by our guys and that's sometimes what it is. You take what the defense gives you. That doesn't mean you don't run it against their base personnel, because you can do that as well, but that was working at that time, and we were able to move the ball down the field.
You mentioned the bounce. Hurts 30 pass attempts. Barkley had 21 carries. Bigsby had 4 carries, so that's basically 30 to 25.
I mean, when the other team's defense is worn down from Saquon, Bigsby is a real weapon.
Oh, yeah, he absolutely is.
Because he runs.
It's when they actually give him the ball, because that was a while where they didn't do that. So, look, I felt good Saturday watching that. The first half sucked, but I felt good just sort of with my eyes going, all right, things looked differently for this offense, and I have not been able to truly say that all season long, not use the word predictable, not use the word elemental, right? How many complaints have we had about, and rightful complaints, right? Rightful complaints for this Eagles offense showing absolutely no life up until really the last couple of weeks.
Okay, we have, and I just, like you're starting today, and like we're saying here, I applaud the fact is I've really enjoyed the answer. I've enjoyed what the response has been. but it also reinforces to me that this offense was severely broken when Kevin Patullo was just given the keys and told, do your thing.
So we mentioned Chargers, Raiders, Commanders. When did Nick Sirianni get more involved?
Chargers, Raiders, Commanders.
Yeah.
It's clear.
Yeah.
It's absolutely clear that a man was over his skis and not prepared for the job.
It's also malpractice that Nick Sirianni allowed.
Why did it take so long? Because you know why, though? Because he hired him.
Yeah,
because that was his boy.
It's his boy,
It's his boy.
All right, coming up next, it may sound crazy to bring up a kicker so earlier in the show, but the Eagles have a major problem on their hands.
Yeah, crazy?
It's bad.
Yeah, it's bad.
Again, if he makes his 2 field goals in the first half, it's a different looking first half for the Eagles. You got to score touchdowns in the playoffs, but you also got to get points. And Jake Elliott missing kicks left and right, or left every single time, is horrible. We'll talk about Jake Elliott coming up next. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Victory Monday here on 97.5 The Fanatic.
On
Pro.
3 days away from Christmas, so we'll be having some holiday bump bat music. It was a beautiful weekend, getting a little bit closer, and closer and stressing and stressing. Actually, no, I'm pretty good because of the Saturday game. I'm telling you, it changed everything.
So you got a lot done?
I got a lot done, dude. I was able to do the grocery run yesterday morning for the big Christmas feast. I was able to do the beer and liquor run on Saturday morning because the game wasn't until 5.
Did you come over the bridge to Delaware?
No.
Oh, so you don't go there?
Nah, I just went down the street, man.
Because we love that.
Okay.
That's like ritual
ain't
for
nobody
us.
got time for that.
Going over to Delaware is great.
So, yeah, we're getting closer. I hope everybody enjoys themselves this week. A lot of people might be off already.
I could tell by the traffic this morning, and that's at our hour in the morning.
Right.
A lot of people are off.
A lot of people are off.
There were nothing but trucks this morning on the Schuylkill.
That's good. Enjoy your time off, everybody. Enjoy another victory for the Eagles and enjoy another NFC East victory. Division win for the Eagles. We'll talk
That's
more
amazing.
about that. Back-to-back years, first time in 21 years. Something to absolutely celebrate. But before we can celebrate, we got to talk about Jake Elliott, man.
We do.
So Jake Elliott misses, statistically,
2
field goals.
He missed 3.
But if you watch the game, he missed 3.
He's unbelievable.
The offsides, maybe the player had ghost fingers that I didn't see. Did you see him offsides?
I did not see it. And by the way, either did the color analyst on the game did not see it.
Maybe he had ghosts of a Christmas past fingers crossing the, because I didn't see it. I did not see a player.
Connor, did you see it?
No, I didn't see it.
I didn't see it either.
And let's also agree that did not impact the kick by any means.
No.
It's not like Jake Elliott was under duress and had to rush a kick.
What? Yes.
He misses 3 field goals.
No, he's under duress.
All-
He's under mental duress
All
that he's
by
put on
himself.
himself, I think.
He misses 3 field goals, all wide left. 2 of them statistically because one got waved off because of the offsides call, the phantom offsides call. But Jake Elliott's a problem. And here's the deal. Later on in the game, Nick Sirianni told you how he felt, even though he'll say something differently in the presser that we're about to play for you. His actions tell you all you need to know. There was the 4th and 7. And don't tell me no man's land because
it was a kick that, by the way, it was a kick
that they just attempted.
I got the number for you. How about that kick that they could have kicked when he went for it on the 4th and 7?
Yeah.
That kick this year was kicked in that situation around 3/4 of the time. Was kicked.
Yeah.
So there is no explanation for, we weren't. It wasn't because of Jake that we didn't kick it.
No, it was because they did not trust him because of the 3
Because
missed field goals.
analytics
And
tells you kick it.
And by the way, I was fine with it because I can't say,
You can't trust them.
let's go send him out there again. No, I was fine with them going for it, and they caught the break with the holding penalty downfield on Dallas Goedert. I hated I still can't believe the Commanders player that intercepted it. That was the ball that was intercepted, but the Dallas Goedert penalty waved it off.
And why would you have intercepted
bro?
it?
It was fourth.
No, it's all about you at that point.
Yeah, exactly.
You have no awareness of time, space,
That's
whatever.
a 30-yard difference in field position.
You knock the ball down. You know it before the snap. We do not, in no way do we intercept this ball.
Anyways,
no, they don't know.
Eagles benefit from it because of the Dallas Goedert holding call. But here was Nick Sirianni after the game talking about Jake Elliott.
I have the utmost confidence in Jake. Like any team, you have ups and downs, and that's just not offense, defense, that's special teams. And, that's your kicker too. I have a ton of confidence in him that he'll rebound from this because he's mentally tough and a great kicker. And we have the utmost faith in Jake moving forward.
You can't tell me you have faith in him if you're not going to him, which, again, I'm fine with them not going.
No, I'm fine with them making the decision not to go to him. But stop with the nonsense. Stop telling us, we have utmost faith in Jake. Stop.
4 out of the last 5 games, Jake Elliott has missed a field goal.
He's the worst kicker in the NFL. And by the way, I've done this segment now. This will be the 3rd time. 3rd time. He's the worst kicker in the NFL.
17 of 24.
And they keep trotting him out. He is 32 of 32 teams. We are going with the worst kicker in the NFL, and we're going with him because of nostalgia. We're going with him because it's nostalgia. He's a legend, and we love him.
Yes.
He's a legend for what he's done. But he's killing this team right now. And in a playoff game, how many times have you seen a team lose a game in the playoffs because of a missed kick? You have a lot.
Yeah.
A lot. You can't give up points in the playoffs.
By the way, he's worse this year than last year.
He's declining assets.
Last year, there's a couple games. No, field goals too, dude. Last year, he was 28 of 36, which is 77%. This year, he's 17 of 24, which is just under 71%.
You
So
can't
he's
have
actually
this.
worse this year than
can't
last
have
year.
this.
And we were complaining about it last year. And then, look, playoff time, he came through. Right, he was
Exactly.
tremendous in the playoffs.
Right.
Made the big kicks in the snow
Right.
against the Rams. Can't take that away from him. He was tremendous in the playoffs last year.
You can't count on it. He's a declining asset. He is the worst kicker in the NFL. Period. That's not an opinion. That's not a hot
it's
take.
statistical.
It is statistically. Yeah. Since the beginning of the 2024 season, he's the worst kicker in the NFL. Sam Urson thinks he doesn't really trust him as a kicker. And that's saying something because Urson's killing the Flyers.
Yeah.
So, come on, Rick Tocchet.
All right.
It's another issue altogether.
Well, Jake Elliott, they got to figure that out, and it could either be they bring in somebody for competition real quick, or they just don't use them.
By the way,
Which I wouldn't be surprised.
The kicks that he's missed this year, if you go with teams in the college football playoff, the kicks that he has missed this year, and I'm stealing this from stats and information. The kickers in the college football playoff have made the kicks that he's missed this year. They've made him at a higher percentage by 7% than Jake Elliott's made them.
Sure.
So if you just take college kickers off the college football playoff, and that's just cherry picking 12 teams.
Right.
There's college kickers all over the place that can make kicks that he's missing. And you don't have to pay them jack because there's only 2 weeks left in the season. Then if they prorated, you could pay them NFL minimum. And you don't have to give away the season.
Yeah.
Oh, my gosh. It's terrible.
See if we give away the season or not. We'll see about that.
No, he's cost you 2 games already. Now, he could have cost you one this weekend. So what are you doing? What are we doing here?
I would also say the offense struggling in those games didn't help.
Yeah, it doesn't. But you still got to be able to count on your kicker to make routine kicks.
You're right.
The gimme's got to be made.
Coming up next, the game that became a bit of a snooze fest found new life when Nick Sirianni remembered that he was Nick Sirianni. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Victory Monday, 97.5 The Fanatic.
For around 4 decades, Dan White and Associates have been in business. And what do? They specialize in retirement and financial planning. So when you're in business for almost 4 decades, what does that mean? Well, it means you've obviously been meeting the needs of your local community. But it also means that you have a different way of addressing all of your clients because some of the clients are going to look more like my partner. You know, they're going to look younger. They're going to have a young family. They're going to be looking to maybe set up, how do they buy that next house? How do they pay for kids' college education down the line? Or some of their client base is going to look like me. And they're going to be like, wait a minute. I want to stress test that retirement plan I have because I want to know, am I going to be able to play golf 5 days a week? Am I going to be able to travel? Well, they're going to help you find certainty in your financial future because talking about finances is something that a lot of people find very overwhelming. And Dan White and Associates can help you make sense of your unique situation because every client's unique needs get addressed individually. Now, they have these educational seminars that they host throughout Pennsylvania, Delaware, and Maryland. By the way, some really good restaurants, and you can get a really good meal. And you can just be a passive listener. And then you can schedule your own complimentary, no-risk consultation one-on-one in Glen Mills, Middletown, Delaware, or Lewis, Delaware. Hey, Dan White and Associates, I promise you, you're not going to find their staff to be anything but welcoming and really, really informed. Check out danwhiteandassociates.com, and they wish you a very, very happy holiday.
Now, on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Eagles win the East. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are officially back-to-back NFC East champions after their victory in Washington over the weekend. It's the first time since 2004 that the division has had a back-to-back champ. And the fact was not lost on Jalen Hurts when he talked about the accomplishment after the game.
We've got a lot of ball in front of us. It's a great accomplishment today, given all the success and all the competitive football that is going on in this division over the last 20-plus years. To be able to win it back-to-back is a huge accomplishment.
So celebrations in order for the Eagles, but they're not done yet. At 10-5, they've not only locked up the division, but also clinched a playoff spot. Next up for them will be trying to improve their seeding. They're currently the 3 seed in the NFC playoff picture. Sixers had 2 wins over the weekend, taking the Knicks and Mavericks down on Friday and Saturday. They're off tonight. They'll host the Brooklyn Nets tomorrow. Flyers had a tough shootout loss to the Rangers up in New York on Saturday. They'll host the Canucks tonight. Puck drop is at 7:30 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Don't miss Andrew DeCecco joining us coming up at 7:55 for his day after to check in on the Eagles win in Washington. I guess it's 2 days after, since it was a Saturday game. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
a football Monday here on the Fanatic. Why do we have like the Kids Bop version?
You don't like this one?
I like this one.
I feel like Coop's in the back seat right
This
now.
is more like a country music version, I think.
Why is this Kids Bop? Because
This
there's
sounds
guitar
like,
in
this
it?
sounds like country music. This doesn't sound like Kids Bop.
Sounds like Mickey comes to town.
You got to get your ears checked.
Here comes Mickey Mouse. Here comes Mickey Mouse. That's what it sounds like.
It's just the guitar.
It's a country music version. I
Football
think.
Monday on the Fanatic, presented to us by the local Bryant Home Comfort Team. Visit nopaybryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. I just saw something freaking beautiful, man, that I did not notice till just now.
What's that?
So when Devontae Smith scored his touchdown on Saturday, he did a dance where he just kind of, shook his arms back and forth, nothing crazy. It was the dance that he and his daughter did.
Yeah, it was his daughter's. He promised
I did
her.
not know.
Yeah.
I just saw the tweet. I mean, it's 20 hours old, so it came out. They
Yeah, he
came out
promised her
yesterday.
You were too busy shopping for the
Yeah,
feast.
I wasn't on social media much yesterday. But it was like that's beautiful, man. I think that's so freaking
A little
cool.
inside joke.
Yeah,
between him and
for
his,
the
him and his
that's-
kid.
That's tremendous.
So
I
his
love that.
his little girl's watching Daddy on TV, and sees Daddy doing the dance.
By the way, can somebody tell me the inside joke of how Josh Johnson's still in the NFL?
No, but
Like,
it's funny.
Can anyone explain to me, in all seriousness? I'm not trying to. I'm not doing the whole. That's why the Eagles won. I'm not doing that. Somebody tell me how Josh Johnson is still in the NFL.
Because it tells you how bad quarterback play is in the NFL. Because most teams need 3.
Right. You have the emergency quarterback.
So you're saying to yourself, there are 96 of these jobs, and he's one of the best 96 they can find.
But my maybe look, he stinks, right? So it's not like I'm saying anything crazy here. He stinks.
He's there to teach Jaden Daniels is what the explanation
Sure.
is. He is a guy who is very well respected.
Yes, he
as
is.
far as, and also too well respected in the film room, supposedly.
Okay.
So he's helping.
Hasn't helped him out.
He's helping
personally.
a young Jaden Daniels understand film study and things like that.
Yeah, then make him a coach because the Eagles learned this the hard way with the Josh McCown thing where he came in and tore his damn hamstring off the bone.
Yeah.
Like when those guys are in
Well,
the
he
meeting
looked better
room,
than
they're
Josh
great.
McCown.
Yeah, well,
I just
Josh McCown was terrible.
My question is, you mean to tell me you would not rather take a flyer on a kid that like nobody's ever like the Chiefs had the guy that ended up and he was
terrible.
horrible too.
He was horrible.
But was he any worse than Josh
yeah,
Johnson?
because the kid is not giving any benefit to the you see
right. You're
you're
right.
Like, to me,
it's like Udonis Haslam being on the Heat for 50 years.
they have a young quarterback that they are trying to bring along. I guarantee you, Johnson's probably not there next year.
Probably
Because
not.
because Jaden Daniels will be a third-year quarterback. They'll be like, okay, Jaden, you know what you're doing. You know what you're doing. They tried to give him some training wheels.
Yeah.
But man, did he look bad?
Oh, he's
Oh, my
he's,
gosh.
he's wretched. He's
It's
so bad. 16 years in the NFL, 13 touchdowns to 17 interceptions, 2,340 total yards passing in
You know-
16 years in the NFL.
Do you know that? But I'm telling you, the 10-year pension is so great in the NFL.
yeah, dude.
And now what's he got in addition to that? 3 more years?
Oh, I'm not saying he shouldn't.
No, I'm saying no,
teams.
No,
I don't
no,
get
I'm just telling you. I'm telling you, Josh is loving life.
Oh yeah,
That is a great.
absolutely.
He's in line for a great pension.
He's probably saying, "Damn, I got to play." At this point,
Wait, and wait, it's them again?
yeah, right, exactly, because he played in the
They're
NFC
going to tattoo
Championship
me.
game.
They're going to tattoo me.
All right, so the Eagles beat the Commanders. They win 29-18. And of course, one of the stories that comes out of that game was Nick Sirianni going for 2.
Why do you think he did it?
Because he's Nick Sirianni. He explained himself after the game with the mathematics of it.
Please.
But when the Commanders were already basically conceding the game by punting with 4 minutes
11,
left in the game, or
down 11.
Yeah, down 11, 4 minutes left in the game, that tells you all you need to know. And so,
Come on, Nick.
I'm not gonna spend 4 hours ripping Nick Sirianni, but come on, bro. I don't blame anyone on the Commanders for being pissed off. I don't blame any player for wanting to fight.
That is a Harry hard-on move
It absolutely
by
is.
our head coach, and it was unnecessary.
Yeah, it was
completely unnecessary. And don't give me any of this unless they looked at it and said, you know what? There might be a time where we don't trust Jake Elliott in an outdoor stadium to kick an extra point. We're going to go for 2, or we need to go for 2 in the postseason. Let's practice something. I'm going to give him the grace of saying maybe that could have been his thought process.
I don't think that's what it is when he's.
No, I don't either.
Because he spoke after the game, and it was very his studies. Remember,
his studies.
He goes to Wharton and sits down in the library.
No, he didn't go to Wharton.
He sits down in the library. He's got a cup of coffee, and he does his studies. He reads Football 101.
It sounds very D3.
This was Nick Sirianni explaining his decision to go for 2.
So you go up 17, obviously, or we were up 17. To go up 18, we did the math and said, hey, we wanted to be able to make sure we were up 19. We thought it was a little bit better. That way they could only tie you with a field goal and 2 two-point conversions. And so we were already up 3 scores. We wanted to make sure we went up that way just in case. And that was what our math told us in that particular case. And that's what we did. And we went and executed.
That's so embarrassing. That is such an embarrassing answer with Johnson at quarterback. With the way they were conceding that game, with the amount of time that was left, that's an embarrassing answer. And by the way, it's complete bull crap.
Yeah, and
that is so fake.
You blame yourself for creating the fight, right? Like the fight happened because of that.
The fight happened because of that.
And so if somebody got suspended, let's say Tyler Steen got suspended for a week, that would be on Nick Sirianni.
And by the way, who knows that he won't?
He might. Yeah, he might.
We'll find out today.
He threw multiple punches.
We'll find out today. Now,
he had multiple commanders to punch.
Yeah.
There's a 5-on-1 fight.
Connor, 100 men versus a bear, or 100 people versus Tyler Steen?
I'll take the 100, but you're going to need a good amount to take him down.
Yeah, dude, Tyler Steen, he's getting after it, man.
He has a great – what I was impressed with was one of my buddies texts me and goes – and he boxes, but he goes, great center of gravity.
Sure.
Yeah. He says for a real great center of gravity and good footwork – to keep his balance.
See,
as long as he did.
Now, this Nick Sirianni decision thing, like, my response is good. Who cares? Division rival. I don't care they got their backup in. Like,
dude,
I'm never going to get mad
bro,
at
that's
that.
weak.
No, screw that.
Have some class.
Yeah,
No,
sure.
have some
class, Connor. Have
It's
some
the
class
NFC.
about it.
Especially when there's already a way people perceive Nick Sirianni.
Have some class about it. It's why Nick Sirianni sits alone at a lot of these coaches' things. And when we sat down at the Super Bowl with Steve Weish, and they were telling about how Nick Sirianni's not really popular amongst his peers, it's crap like this.
That's fine.
There's no reason.
That's fine with
There's
me.
no reason for it. There's no reason to conduct yourself like that.
You would have that opinion. You probably do it in Madden, don't you?
100%. Run it up. Win the game. Stop me.
They won the game, bro. They won.
They
They
were already winning the game. It was all Josh.
Josh Johnson was the freaking quarterback, and they were punting down 11 with 4 minutes left.
Let him know.
Here
fertilized.
was Dan Quinn after the game because he was obviously asked about it.
Yeah, I can only answer for my side, what I would do. But hey, man, like, that's how they want to get down. And like, all good. We play them again in 2 weeks.
And it matters too. You know when it matters? It matters next year. It matters next year when the Commanders are all healthy. It matters next year when they're going at it. That's when stuff like this comes back.
Because I hear Connor go, yeah, bro, run up the score, bro. What happens if there's a cheat shot?
Exactly.
Week 18. Let's say the starters are out there.
Let's say you have the Eagles could very well
be fighting for the
if
2
the
seed.
Eagles beat the Bills, which, by the way, if you watched the Browns yesterday and you don't think the Eagles can beat the Bills, then you didn't watch the game. You didn't watch the Bills, and you haven't watched them all year. So the Eagles could beat the Bills, and there's a very, very good chance that the Bears could lose to the 49ers. So Week 18,
You're playing your starters.
you're playing your starters.
And there's a cheap shot.
Yeah, like there wasn't a cheap shot last year when they didn't run it up on your quarterback's
No, but
head
I'm saying
against
is
that
you
same
don't
team.
want to. You don't want to do anything.
Do you think they feel even? Or do you think they felt disrespected and they might
Again,
want to take a cheap shot?
Sure, but
It's unnecessary.
I see people. I see people celebrate Renee's. Oh yeah. I saw nothing wrong with it.
Hell yeah, Renee, run it up.
It's
Let's go.
unnecessary.
Screw
It's so bush league.
If there's a cheap shot in
Right.
Week 18, we'll go back
Yes.
to what the decision.
And
made
I
in
hope
Week
everybody's.
16.
I hope seriously, someone takes a cheap shot. Someone turns an ankle. Somebody breaks a rib on a late hit. I want to hear the same people who are like, yeah, good job, Nick. I understand
Well, his math. His math is the
that
reason
Flyers 10 and under team is looking at Nick to see if he'd come in and coach with them.
why. Oh, dude, yeah, that was insane. All right, coming up next, we'll check our text line for the first time this morning. You can text in 610-632-0975. Also, it's a Victory Monday, which means we get a Victory Monday montage. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, the Fanatic.
Every day, someone in your community, they just need a leg up. They need a second chance because addiction has led them down a path that their lives have been pretty much destroyed. But you can help them get right back on the track by donating a vehicle. I know it's not something you're thinking of, because when you think of the Salvation Army, you think of a bell in a bucket. But the Salvation Army has been changing lives for nearly 150 years, and they have another way that you can help. By donating a car, a truck, a boat, a motorcycle, or an RV that has reached the end of its usefulness for you, you donate it to the Salvation Army, and they can help somebody rebuild their life, find stability, or maybe discover hope again. Your kindness continues to make that possible. And donating is easy. Call 800-SA-TRUCK or go to satruck.org and schedule a pickup. They're going to come right to your home. They're going to tow the vehicle at no charge, and they're going to give you an IRS-approved receipt that you can then use on your taxes. Because that used vehicle that you have on your property, you don't need it anymore. And it might end up being the turning point in someone else's life. So donate it today. That car, that boat, that motorcycle, that truck, that RV. Call 800-SA-TRUCK or visit satruck.org. Help the Salvation Army in this season of giving continue to do the most good.
.642 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. Why do you hate this song?
Can't stand this one. Can't stand the Beach Boys. Christmas comes this time each year. Dumbest line in any Christmas song.
Let's
I
not
hate
pretend like
this
Christmas
song.
songs are the most
I hate this song.
lyrically built out.
Simply having a wonderful Christmas
I
time.
think this song's fine. I don't have vitriol toward it.
it's that way down.
Look, I said what I said last week. I don't understand the Last Christmas Love. The Last Christmas
I love it.
I don't understand the
Absolutely love it.
Like number one. I'm not saying it's a bad
love it.
song. Number one song in the country
I love it.
this year. It overtook Mariah this year.
Mariah's good. I think there's a little Mariah burnout.
Yeah, I agree because
think
it
the
plays
burnout-
in freaking
yeah.
November. It's
And
ridiculous.
I can tell you a story. I went into a pet store yesterday.
Okay.
Nikki Foles getting some
Santa Paws.
Santa stuff. Went into a Target. and went into where I play golf.
And you heard Mariah all 3 times.
I heard Mariah in 3 places within the same hour.
Yeah.
Within like an hour of my life, there's Mariah. I think there's a burnout. So I think Mariah might still be the greatest as far as, but I think people are rejecting it maybe a little bit, even though she's still.
Last Christmas,
It's a great song.
Number 1?
Yeah, but it's a great song, too.
All right, what do we got on the text line, Connor, as we're celebrating the Eagles' win on Saturday? And in the next segment, because we're going to do our Victory Monday montage here in a minute, in the next segment, we're going to take a moment to, like, celebrate the run that the Eagles are on.
All right, so this texter says, I think that Sirianni was protecting Jake Elliott with the 2-point conversion and what he said after. He protects his players and did not want to put his kicker under the bus by saying we don't trust him. Same thing when Jalen and AJ go rogue. That's from Tony and Delco.
You know what he can say? And I get that. I know what Tony's saying there. But you know what he can say? He can just say, Jake Elliott has been one of our greatest players in this franchise's history at his position. But he's really struggling right now. We have to get him right because we're going to need him if we want to win a championship. And we have to look at everything because he has no problem talking about other players when they struggle.
Right.
So why can't you talk about Jake Elliott?
By the way,
he has no problem talking about another player when they struggle, and you have to blatantly call it out.
By the way, what goes against that logic? I appreciate the texter. There was an extra point that was kicked and made in the 3rd quarter. There was an extra point kicked and made early in the 4th quarter. So there were 2 touchdowns before that one that led to the brawl because of the 2-point attempt in which Jake Elliott kicked the field goal or kicked the point after. So if we're trying to protect somebody, you would not have sent him out those other 2 times. And that would have been even more of a message that would have been sent to Jake Elliott. So I appreciate the text, but he kicked 2 point after attempts prior, after missing the 2 field goals. What else we got?
This texter says, wait a minute. So were you guys complaining when they tried to get Tank Bigsby a touchdown last week against the Raiders when they were up 31-0?
No, they're running the ball. They ran the ball. Stop. No, you can't stop playing, and they played all their backups. By the way, they had backup offensive linemen in, backup wide receivers in, backup running back in. You continue to play the game.
By the way, a touchdown's a touchdown.
It's a touchdown.
The 2-point conversion is a decision. It's a mindset to say, we're going to go for 2 here instead of get the 1 point. And he will explain it mathematically. And maybe I'll give Nick Sirianni the benefit of the doubt here. Maybe Nick Sirianni truly did go based off of just his studies. But that's when you're too buried in the sheet and not
lack of awareness.
And not realizing, oh, this is a really bad look.
It's a lack of awareness. Complete lack of awareness. Here's what I'd say to Dan Quinn, though. And maybe I'll see Dan last game of the year. And, I love Coach Quinn. He's a good dude. But, Dan, you didn't coach to win.
Yeah, no, they punted. Yeah.
You didn't coach to win in the 1st quarter. You didn't coach to win in the 4th quarter. So the only defense I'll have for Nick Sirianni on anything is don't be Billy Big Balls saying about what the other coach is doing when in a game that you have nothing to play for, you didn't coach to win. I don't understand it. And the thing is, Dan Quinn had his thing in Atlanta that he'd say all the time. All gas, no brakes. All gas, no brakes. All the time. Now, maybe it was easier when you have Julio Jones and Matt Ryan and all those things going.
And all the Georgia Bulldogs that actually live by that rule.
Yeah, exactly. Well, he didn't have it. He didn't have it.
Here's how the victory on Saturday sounded, courtesy of Fox.
Off we go from Landover. Will Shipley from the 6. And the Eagles have the ball pop out. It's on the sideline, and Washington saying that they've got it, and they do. 5, they're going to settle for a field goal from Jake Moody, who's with his 3rd different team this year. Low snap, hole put down, though, by Tressway. And Moody now 6 for 6 to open his time with the Commanders. Hurts looks to throw. Sideline touchdown. Devontae Smith hangs on to this one. He had a touchdown pop out of his hands earlier on this drive, but he squeezes this one, and the Eagles take the lead. Eagles rush only 4 on 3rd down. Mariota's still in trouble, and Mariota gets swallowed up. Guess who? It's Brandon Graham making his impact again. Jake Elliott's field goal hooks wide. And Elliott's struggles continue. He's missed a kick now 4 of the last 5 games.
I have the utmost confidence in Jake. Like any team, you have ups and downs, and that's just not offense, defense, that's special teams. And, that's your kicker too. I have a ton of confidence in him that he'll rebound from this because he's mentally tough and a great kicker. And we have the utmost faith in Jake moving forward.
57. He misses to the same spot. There's a flag down.
And this is going to be on Washington, and that's going to be a backbreaker.
Elliott trying again. Oh, my goodness! A three-peat. 3 misses in the first half for Jake Elliott. Identical. Hooking to the left. And it stays 10-7 Commanders. 1 to snap it. They just barely get it off. Hurts steps up, rips it, end zone, got it! Touchdown, Philly! Wow, on the last breath of the drive, Jalen Hurts finds Goddard from 15.
Just Dallas making a big-time play, going up the high point of the ball in the end zone. Very much needed play in the game.
Final minute of this third quarter, 3rd and 14. Eagles send only 4. Johnson surveys. Johnson gets intercepted. Cooper DeJean picks him off. Barkley again cuts it back. Stays on his feet. Saquon Barkley's in. A hard-fought touchdown.
It was good to see him out there, going out there, earning those yards like he did. Running very physical. Ran very hard today. He played a hell of a game.
And now the chippiness has turned into a full-on shoving match. Look how Tyler Steen throwing punches. And this is getting ugly.
It's a division game. It's always back and forth with a division game. That's a team we played in the NFC Championship game last year. I know how badly they wanted to beat us. I know how badly we wanted to beat them. We always got to keep our cool in moments like that. But I think that's NFC East football. They got tough guys. We got tough guys. I got a lot of respect for this football team and their coaches.
Well, they've repeated as champs, and now their sights set on repeating as Super Bowl champions. Nick Sirianni's Eagles, the first team to win the East back-to-back years since McNabb's Eagles did it 4 years in a row at the start of the century.
All right, great work by Connor Thomas there. That audio courtesy of Fox. The Eagles, 2 straight weeks they've won, 2 straight years they've won the NFC East. So
You guys appreciate it?
Yes,
absolutely. Because you've seen so much winning. I don't know if it matters as much to you youngers as it does to us olders.
No, I always appreciate it.
So it does.
Which is kind of weird because there have been 4 Super Bowl champions out of the division in that time period.
Right.
So it's not like it stunk.
No.
It was just hard to do it. Yeah, 2 times in a row.
What's the line for the Buffalo game?
Buffalo 1.5.
Buffalo 3.5.
How about splitting the difference, boys? Buffalo 2.5 is the opening line.
All right, how about that? All right, coming up next, speaking of whether or not we appreciate it, I want to focus on the fact that the Eagles are back-to-back divisional champs. And they've had a 5-year stretch that may be arguably the best in franchise history.
It is the best.
Well, let's talk about it. Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Back-to-back division champs. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are officially champs of the East again after their victory in Washington over the weekend. It's the first time since 2004 that the division has had a back-to-back champion. And that fact was not lost on Nick Sirianni. He talked about it after the game.
It's hard to do this. Obviously, in this division, we've seen the data says, it's hard to repeat as winners in this division. We're happy about that. We'll celebrate it. We've got a lot to clean up, and then we got a lot more goals on our mind.
So the Eagles have now won 2 straight, and at 10-5, they've not only locked up the division, but also clinched a playoff spot. Next up for them will be trying to improve their seeding. Currently the 3 seed in the NFC playoff picture. Sixers had 2 wins over the weekend. They beat the Knicks and Mavericks on Friday and Saturday, respectively. They're off tonight. They'll host the the Nets tomorrow. Flyers had a tough shootout loss to the Rangers on Saturday. They will host the Vancouver Canucks tonight. Puck drop is at 7:30 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. Andrew DeCecco joins us coming up at 7:55 for his reaction to the division champion Birds. This update is brought to you by SuperSure. Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get SuperSure. Not kind of sure, not pretty sure, but SuperSure coming soon. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It is 6:58 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic on this Victory Monday morning. 3 days from the big one, from Christmas Day. And, of course, everybody that's been celebrating Hanukkah over the weekend as well. We hope you had a wonderful weekend. John Kincade, it's birthday eve for John Kincade.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow's the biggest day of the year, actually.
It's Festivus for the rest of us.
You're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia, a Beasley Media Group station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities. I have to ask you guys.
Yeah.
Would this be the greatest honor of all time? On Saturday, Santa drove around the neighborhood with the Mantua Township Fire Department.
I love when Santa comes on the fire truck.
You know, because they
awesome.
they got those connections, you
Yes.
know, in Mantua and many townships all across the
Sure.
country. And it's good because Santa's, it's like a last second, let me make sure you're being a good boy.
Yeah,
or-
the elves
or
are the
good
only
girl.
one working right now.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
he was checking on you, Salciunas.
Santa's just, he was. So I mentioned to you guys that 2 weeks ago we had the carbon monoxide detectors go off.
Okay.
And so the fire department had to come to our house, and Mr. Brian, who lives in my neighborhood,
he was kind enough to.
yeah, he checked out the house, and he was the one that was driving the front car. He has his own like SUV with all the lights and everything.
Oh, yeah.
And then Santa was on a sleigh, couple trucks back.
That's awesome.
So later that day, my parents came over, and I was like, Coop, tell Chuti and Tavukas who you saw. He did not say Santa. He said Mr. Brian. Is that the greatest honor ever, that a 3-year-old would lead with Mr. Brian
Yes.
over Santa Claus?
I'd say so. Mr. Brian, clutch.
I texted him. I was like, dude, like I need to tell you that you just got
No, that's clutch from
probably
a kid.
the greatest honor ever.
Yeah, that's a smart move by Coop, though. Santa's been against fire code for generations. Going up and down chimneys, you don't know if those things are lit.
That's
I
true.
know it's magic, but like,
Well, he's got the magic, dude. Yeah.
if I'm the fire department, I'm like, yeah, this guy's been causing me a headache. You should be cheering for me.
Yeah.
And a lot of
Shout out
times,
Mr. Brian.
A lot of times, the flue has not been properly adjusted and
He's got
or
soot all over
cleaned.
him.
He's got soot. I don't know how his suit stays so clean.
Well, Mrs. Claus does a hell of a job when he gets back home. They do a hell of a job.
Absolutely. Laundry day at the North Pole.
I just I like that's the greatest honor ever. That Mr. Brian came ahead of.
That's
Santa Claus.
fantastic.
Shout out Mr. Brian.
And he was checking on you too. Don't bluff yourself.
I'm sure he was. All right, so the Eagles win the NFC East, and that is something
That's
that
something good.
we
That's
got
something
to
really good.
absolutely celebrate.
Yep.
And it's back-to-back years, so the graphic that we see in December every single year goes away. Ray Dunn asked me on Twitter on Saturday, what will the TV networks begin to show now that graphic is done? So that you'll get the cheesesteak shot. I believe Eli Manning holding the Lombardi Trophy when it's a Giants
They've
game.
now been going to Rocky at the airport.
Okay.
The Rocky statue
Yes,
that's at
we
the
gotta do
airport.
that.
So they get it right off the plane. They get the picture of Rocky at the airport.
Jerry Jones with Troy probably holding up a Lombardi. And then I have the Hard Rock for the Commanders. They'll show the Hard Rock anytime they mention the Commanders.
Now it's over.
So
Kevin DeGandhi and I celebrated on a day early.
Yes, you did.
Because it didn't bother you guys as much as it bothered us. Like, it's just like,
I thought it was amazing. Like,
I'm so
to me,
tired of hearing about
it was the amazing fact that this was something, that there was no repeat champion. And oh, by the way, it's not like it was Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys, Eagles, Cowboys. The Commanders were mixed in a few years.
How about it was
the Giants were mixed in a few years.
How about even better? Again, ESPN Stats and Information stealing it. It was the longest in all of professional sports ever.
Yeah.
Ever. That's incredible. That's incredible.
It's amazing.
But it's done. Dead, never having to be spoken of again.
Giants won it 3 times during that stretch. Commanders won it 3 times. The Eagles won it 7 times, and the Cowboys won it 7 times.
And by the way,
They
the
split.
Giants won 2 Super Bowls.
Yeah, right.
One of them, I think they did win the division though at 9-7. I think they won the Super Bowl, or 10-6. I think they won the division and won the Super Bowl 10-6.
But it's amazing. It's over. So I asked to go into the break, and you say it without hesitation because they won the Super Bowl.
Well, they went to another.
That this is the best 5-year stretch. Like as much as we can complain on a Monday, as much as we can complain about what is said in a press conference on a Tuesday, as much as we can complain about a decision made by Howie Roseman in the offseason, right? Should they have brought back Darius Slay and Isaiah Rodgers and not gone with this route and that route? This is the greatest 5-year stretch in Eagles franchise
It's not
history.
even close. There's no 5-year stretch that matches.
There's one that comes close.
Okay,
the
give it
fact
to
that they were in
me.
the
Give it to
NFC title game, 4 straight years?
Correct.
Okay, so you mean you made the final 4, and you made the final 2, and you won 1. No, this is better. And you made the playoffs.
Yeah,
Every
but I wouldn't
single
say
year.
not even close. I mean, they got to the they.
Are you kidding me? You gagged. You gagged in 2 of those NFC title games, in explicit fashion. You choke jobbed them away. So 2003, 2004, you literally took amazing seasons and gagged them away. Rob Thompson was even embarrassed for those performances.
Hold on a second. I understand.
What do you mean?
No, but in the grand, if you take a step back,
You can't.
No, no,
You
no.
cannot
You
take a
can.
step back.
You gotta
in
take the
5
emotion.
straight. Hold on.
This is
If
where
we're
this
ta-
is where you're showing your age, boys.
No.
You're showing your age.
That's where we're showing our logic.
No.
No.
If we're talking 5-year stretch, and look, I agree with you, but to say it's not even close,
It's not even
they
close.
won. Hold on, they won the division 4 out of those 5
Okay.
years.
Yes.
They got to the freaking NFC Championship game 4 out of those
They
5
did.
years, and won. And you're right, they only won 1, and they choked away
And they
the others.
choked. 2 of the worst chokes in the franchise's history happened in back-to-back seasons. Back-to-back seasons, 2 of the worst moments in the history of the franchise happened in that 5-year window. This team has met expectations far better. No, not even close. Now, Nick Sirianni,
Not
this is what makes
even
him.
close.
Not even
That's
close.
An insane
Come
thing.
on.
Well, first
That's
off,
an insane thing.
First
to
off,
say.
a Super Bowl, getting to the Final 4 and having 2 of the biggest gag jobs in the history of the franchise makes it not even close. And again, you guys,
This is wild.
You guys are youngsters.
No,
this
it
is
has
showing
nothing
your
to do.
age.
This has nothing
No,
to do
you
with
can't do
age.
age.
Don't do the age thing to me,
No, it
John.
is, though.
This has nothing to do with age. If you're saying that this 5-year stretch is the best, I agree with you. They won a Super
It's
Bowl.
not even
They've
close.
been-
It is not even close. When you're talking about, first of all, going to 2 Super Bowls, right there alone. And by the way, you got to the big stage, and on the big stage both times, you played great. You played great on the big stage. You made it to the big stage once, had 2 classic gag jobs, and when you made it to the big stage, you didn't play
All right.
great. You didn't play. You played. Your quarterback played terribly.
In two of the 5 years that we're talking about right now, they lost in the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah, but
and they looked horrible in both playoffs.
Wait. Don't even talk about the first year. Is Nick Sirianni's first year, and Jalen Hurts' first year as a starter.
But that's not what we're doing. We're not
That's
putting.
a 5 years. We are. It's 5 years.
No, I understand. But if we're talking about best stretches, you can't say, oh, well, this guy was young and that guy was young.
No, you
It's-
can't.
By the way,
It's
the
results-based.
first year of that 5-year stretch, it was Reed and McNabb's second year.
It was. It absolutely was. And Reed and McNabb had. It
It
was
was
wonderful.
Reed and it was Reed's
McNabb.
second year. McNabb's first, or was he a rookie or his second year?
It's 1 to 5.
In 2000.
It was 1 to 4. It was 1,004.
1999, he was a rookie, but he played 6
No, it was
starts.
his first starter.
Yeah.
It was his first starter. He started more in
So
his
just-
rookie year than that team. That team, wait a minute.
To
His
me,
first,
saying not
McNabb's-
even close is insane.
McNabb's first, again, though, but this is, again, a little bit of, and I am going to use the age thing on you, because the first year of McNabb as a starter, that team was much more prepared to win than the first year of Hurts as a starter. And it's not even close. The team that McNabb got to quarterback was much more prepared to win than the team that Hurts got to start. That defense was prepared to win. They were aggressive and they went after it. That team was lucky to get in 9-8, and they had all those COVID quarterbacks.
Sure.
Remember those crazy things? It was a different situation. Completely different
I think you
situation.
saying not even close is insane.
I would.
I think it's very living in the moment.
Okay, no. Ask people and ask.
I don't know how he asked
Connor,
the question.
Put it up. But let's
we
check
got to
the
the poll that
wording.
John's happy with.
Let's check the. No, Connor can choose the wording, and we'll
we need
decide.
the text line because this is very
Okay, yeah.
subjective.
Okay.
There's nuance to it.
Do you believe the last 5 years of the last 5 years is not even in the same whatever? How do you say it? Close to that 5. Because I can tell you, living both, it's like going to a great resort and going to a Motel 6 compared to the two of them. It was great at the time.
So you
but
call
now
it spoiled, and then you just called 4 straight NFC Championship games a Motel 6.
But you don't. At the time, it was the greatest era of Eagles football, and you thought, "Oh my gosh, this is amazing."
And I'm saying that this one is the
But you
greatest.
lived through 2 of the worst choke jobs ever to not get there, and then you get to the Super Bowl and you play terribly. I mean, come on now.
All right, YouTube split. So I'm curious. This is good. This is a out of nowhere conversation.
Yes, I think this is great.
This is more entertaining to me than whether or not the Eagles should have gone for 2 up 75
Absolutely.
points.
No questions asked.
Do you believe that this era is not even close
No, and
the
that's
best
no,
era?
And that is what I'm saying.
Because you and I are on the same page that this is the best era.
No question. We're all in agreement,
the
right,
5-year
Connor? You and I are all in.
stretch.
But I don't even put them in the same zip code.
I don't know. What about the chip years?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, those were great.
Oh man,
All right.
Connor, why'd you have to
I
do
got to
that?
get text messages on this.
Why'd you have to do that, Connor?
612-632-0975. We all agree this is the best 5-year stretch
Yes,
of all time.
There's no argument about that.
Do you agree that it's not even close?
Not even close. The last 5 years.
All right, we'll get some immediate responses on this next. Also, I just want to celebrate an Eagle player and the human element of it as well. How Jordan Davis has changed not only his career but his life. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, the Fanatic.
You know, every day someone that you may not even know in your own community needs a second chance. And you have a chance to help them. And again, you don't even know them. And the Salvation Army wants to give you the vehicle to be able to help them. And when I say vehicle, I'm being a little pithy there. Because you have a vehicle that you don't need anymore. A truck, a boat, a car, a motorcycle, an RV, something that's reached the end of the road in your usefulness. You don't use it. And the Salvation Army can use that to rebuild someone else's life, help them find stability, help them discover hope again, because the Salvation Army's been doing that for nearly 150 years. Your kindness can help to make that possible. And donating's simple. Call 800-SA-TRUCK or go to satruck.org and schedule a pickup. They're going to come right to your home. They're going to tow the vehicle at no charge, and they're going to give you an IRS-approved receipt. And that used vehicle in your driveway could end up being the turning point in someone else's life. So let's say you got that car, that boat, that motorcycle, whatever it is, and you're ready to part with it. Let the Salvation Army help you help someone else. Donate it today. Call SA-TRUCK, 800-SA-TRUCK, or satruck.org, and help the Salvation Army in the season of giving continue to do the most good. 7 a.m. hours brought to you by the BetParks online casino and sportsbook app. Live bet sports on the BetParks app. Play all your favorite casino games. There's always another way to win on the BetParks online casino and sportsbook. Got to be 21 in Pennsylvania, Jersey, or Maryland. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Connor Thomas just told me during the commercial break that was a Hall of Fame sports radio topic because apparently the text line immediately blew up.
That's awesome.
And
because
it is not siding with one or the other.
You know what I like about it is, though? I think it's going to break along generational lines because, and again, I'm not trying.
I don't think age has anything to do with it.
I think it does. Because, and I'm going to say why, is you guys didn't live it the way your dad lived it, I lived it, other people lived it. You didn't. Like, you didn't live it the same way. You were kids. You didn't live it the same way. You live it the way you live it now, the awareness you have, the energy you feel for it now is different than when you're kids. It's a different energy. It's a different awareness of it all, of how you feel it, or what it means in your bones and how you feel it. And to me, I think that along those lines, people will go. I mean, it's the pain I feel about that Tampa Bay game. It's thankfully numbed forever.
Sure.
By the 3 Super Bowls, the 2 wins and the 1 loss, which I'm still damn proud of Super Bowl 57. And even though they lost,
absolutely.
I am so proud of that team the way they played that day. Even though they lost, I'll never feel bad about that Super Bowl. I'll feel bad I'm sad they lost it for them, but I'll never feel bad about that Super Bowl. Like
they played and they lost to a dynasty.
Correct.
It's like the Astros, the Phillies Astros. Like they lost to a dynasty.
I felt great about their performance that day. So to me, that makes me happy.
So there are people that agree with you on our YouTube chat, but they don't think age has any, and they are of your age. I'll just say they don't believe ageism.
So they don't think it's age.
They don't believe ageism comes into play here.
Okay.
So what do we got on the text line, Connor? It's 610-632-0975. I want to celebrate Jordan Davis here in a minute, but the topic changes. All of a sudden, we go from
we have no idea.
Hey,
where
let's
it's going,
talk about the offense looked better. You know, it was a nice win for the Eagles on Saturday. And then John Kincade says that this is the best 5-year stretch, in which I agree with him.
With
not even close.
Not even close.
I think that 2000 to 2004, where they won the division 4 straight years and got to the conference championship 4 straight years and finally got to the Super Bowl. To say not even close is absurd. What do we got on the text line?
Well, absurd to some, not absurd to others.
Sure.
Let's knock out the age part of this real quick because Dan from Warminster literally just texted when we were having that conversation. He said, I'm 33. I completely agree with John Kincade. It's not even close. So there are people in the young age group that believe what John believes, the old age group that doesn't.
That's why I don't like the age thing, because you go. There's a prime.
Well, okay.
There's a 33-year-old on your side.
Can you understand what I'm saying, though, is that if I was to discuss something that happened with someone that they did, okay, tell me about, hey, let's discuss the 2008 Phillies with someone who was 10 when it happened and someone who was 30 when it happened.
Yeah, but we're not breaking down X's and O's. We're talking about accomplishments.
But what I'm telling is that the 30-year-old lived it differently. So when there are choke jobs, when there are terrible, painful losses, when there are terrible events, the 30-year-old has so much more awareness than the 10-year-old. They have so much more awareness of every little detail, of every little thing, because the 10-year-old's playing Xbox.
I don't know.
The 10-year-old's going to 3rd grade.
I could be dumber than some 10-year-olds. I'll just argue.
I mean, it's just
I also
it's a
know that
thing.
whether I was 9, 10, 50, or 70, I sat down 4 straight years watching the Eagles
I bet you did.
play in the NFC Championship game.
I bet you did, and I don't think your analysis would have been that great.
I'm not, but
I'm
this
saying
is not. This has nothing to do with analysis.
I understand, but you didn't live it the same way. Like you don't live it the same way when you're what were you 11?
Sure, I don't think age has anything to do with.
And that's fine. We disagree on that. That's fine.
What else we got?
This texter says, I often disagree with John, and I do again. To say it's not even close is insane behavior when you went to 4 straight title games and were favored in 3 of them.
Okay, and how'd they turn out? Because that matters in the discussion. How did they turn out?
Why does the choke job matter?
Because you choked 2 years in a row at home with the NFC title game where you were absolutely favored to go to the Super Bowl. I mean, this city was bags packed.
Yeah.
The Tampa game especially. But then the next year, you're getting to play Jake Delhomme and the Panthers.
Yes.
I mean, bags were packed. There was no discussion in either one of those games that the Eagles were not going to go to the Super Bowl.
I have an emotional,
At home.
I have an emotional test for you.
What's the emotional?
Let's say the Buffalo Bills with Kansas City out and no Patrick Mahomes waiting in the wings. Josh Allen leads them to a Super Bowl this year. Does that stretch then overtake Jim Kelly taking a team to 4 straight Super Bowls even though they didn't win one?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because they got further. They got further.
Right, but if they win one this year, then they got further.
Because they're a championship matters to Buffalo. It'll be the greatest because they got a championship. The championship matters. The championship matters. The parade matters.
That's what I'm saying.
You can't wipe it. You can't wipe it. That's why this 5-year period has a parade.
And that's what I think the determining factor is.
And that's why we agree.
And by the way, and a second trip where they played great.
Right, and that's why we agree that it is the best. In case people are just tuning in, we all agree that this is it was when John said not even close, where I was like, what?
We all agree. Yeah, we all agree on that.
By the way, just a little quick love to Jordan Davis.
Oh, my gosh.
Once again, spectacular on Saturday against the Commanders. He's been spectacular all season long. John Clark spoke with him after the game on Saturday. Quote, a lot of soul searching and understanding what I want for myself. And the team wanted me to be more and play more and be capable of more. And ultimately, it was on me to make that decision and flip that switch and work at it. I always say Rome isn't built in a day, but now it's finally at a point where it clicks and I'm consistent at it and I understand and I love where I'm at. I also wonder how much winning helps. Like if he was playing for the Browns, he might not be trying to take his – I'm not saying not take his game to the next level, but he wants to stay here.
Oh, no, he wants to be here. And by the way, 3 different players in the locker room on the defensive side of the ball identified him as the defensive leader.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right, coming up next, more text messages on this topic. Also, John's 3 observations from the rest of the NFL. It is Kincade and Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Birds go back-to-back. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are officially back-to-back NFC East champions after their victory in Washington over the weekend, and it is the first time in 21 years, since 2004, that the division has had a back-to-back champion, and that fact was not lost on Jalen Hurts. He talked about it after the game.
Got a lot of ball in front of us. It's a great accomplishment today, given all the success and all the competitive football that is going on in this division over the last 20-plus years. To be able to win it back-to-back is a huge accomplishment.
At 10-5, the Eagles have not only locked up the division, but also clinched a playoff spot. Next up for them, they're going to try and improve their seeding. They're currently the 3 seed in the NFC playoff picture. We'll see if they can get up to that 2 spot. Sixers had 2 wins over the weekend, taking the Knicks and Mavericks down on Friday and Saturday. They're off tonight. They're hosting the Nets tomorrow. Flyers had a tough shootout loss to the Rangers on Saturday. They host the Canucks tonight. Puck drops at 7:30 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. You can also hear Andrew DeCecco joining us coming up at 7:55 for his thoughts on Saturday's win over the Commanders. This update is brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
It is 7:27 here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 The Fanatic. On this Victory Monday, where now all of a sudden the topic is whether
went
or
off
not
the rails, eh?
It did, which I'm a fan of. I
like that too.
I like organic conversation, and the organic conversation right now is yes, we agree this is the best 5-year stretch in Eagles franchise history. But John says there's not another one that's even close, and I thought 2004 was. Let's get a couple people on the phone line that want to chime in on this.
Good.
Let's go to Ramon in Bucks County. What's up, Ramon?
Hey, what's going on? Salciunas, Kincade, and Connor. Good morning, guys. Good morning,
What's up, brother? Happy holidays, man.
What's going? Hey, happy holidays, guys. Happy holidays. Now I'm 39 years old. I'll be 40 in April next year. I have to agree with John because I was 14, about 15 when the McNabb eras, the Rams lost, the Bucks lost, the Panthers lost. Then we finally got to the Super Bowl and lost. So I would have to say it was like the Ritz-Carlton now, and that was like the Red Roof Inn, only because no, I'm serious, because it was like those. I actually cried my eyes out when we lost to the Bucks, and then you come back the next year and then put up that dud in Philadelphia against the Panthers,
14-6.
I
think it was 14-6.
Yeah. 14-6, man. So I'm gonna have to be honest with you. To get these 2 Super Bowls in like within 7 years, and to not get anything back then, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I love McNabb, great quarterback, but he just wasn't the right quarterback for our team. He didn't have enough heart in the crunch time.
Well, hold on.
But he was a good season quarterback.
Other than having T.O. for a year, he carried a bunch of guys.
We love him, but
come
still,
on, man.
though. I mean, it was
he was throwing a pigskin and thrash.
Well, no, but the question, I think the point that he's saying though is that he did not have Jalen Hurts' knack.
The mental makeup, absolutely
playing his best at the biggest moments. He did not.
Yes, that's what I mean. Yep, that's exactly what I mean.
Yeah, he did not. That's a big deal.
Thanks,
Thank
Ramon.
you, buddy.
We appreciate the call. I mean, I said it earlier this year. Credit to Hurts, even more credit to Hurts. As much as I love McNabb, all this drama that surrounded the Eagles this year, McNabb would not have handled it well.
No.
He would have melted.
No, I'm going to tell you,
By
too.
the way, he did melt with T.O.
I'm going to tell you
literally happened.
I'm going to tell you that he would have been in the center. He would have been the reason for it.
Yeah, it would have been worse. Yeah, he would have added to it.
He would have added to it. He would have been the reason for it.
But I will say, Donnie left it all out on the field against the Patriots in that Super Bowl.
Yes, he left it out all out on the field. He also left it all on the field playing on a broken foot. He was a hell of a quarterback. Let's go to David in San Antonio. What's up, Dave?
What's going on, guys? Look,
what's going on, man?
There is no comparison because look, I'm still looking at Juravicious, slower than me at the age of 60, running down for damn near 90 yards. It took him 3 quarters just to make it down the field. I'm still seeing Barber run that pick 6 back, that closed veteran stadiums. Right? I'm still seeing McNabb get the dry heaves in the Super Bowl when Jalen Hurts was down 2.
Quarter reports, they weren't dry.
Oh, my gosh, it was terrible. It was terrible. It was like the worst.
And we got one team that launched the dynasty. We got this team that destroyed a dynasty. Because look at Kansas City right now. That's because of the Philadelphia Eagles. It's not even close. Not even close. Have a great show.
Thank you, buddy.
All right, thanks, David. We appreciate the call, man.
We're getting some great calls on this.
It is. And, Connor, you said it's like really some wild stuff on text, too.
Yeah, what do we got? Give us some text messages.
Sniff this
please.
one out a mile away. This is one that we're going to be talking about for a while. So this texter is absolutely on John's side and says, John Kincade is right on this one. There were so many nail-biting, disappointing moments with higher expectations with McNabb. It can't be compared to this era with Hurts.
I mean, it was so miserable. Like you had all the success in the regular season. It would remind you of
and
the Phillies' regular seasons the last few years, but even worse. And then the disappointment, imagine fivefold, because you're just being kicked because you were supposed to be the winner. You're just supposed to win, and you just crash and burn. It was horrible.
All right, what else you got on the text line?
All right, we also have this texter checking in that says, I'm going to tell you right now, McNabb's Eagles teams would absolutely destroy this team the Eagles have this year. Come on, John, that era was better. Or not better, but come on, John, that era was more competitive.
Really?
I think he's trying to say
that Eagles teams, tell me about them closing out teams. All the talent. It's like the people who tell me about the Buddy Ryan era. How great that Eagles defense, man, everything. Tell me about their playoff wins. One. And it was after Buddy left. One.
Defense was
They
great.
won. It's in the regular season, they were. When you needed them to win, they weren't.
Because he ignored the offense.
Hey, you know what it is? What do you call that stuff that my daughter loves it? When they write, when people on the internet take characters and then write stories.
Fan fiction.
Fan fiction. Because the Buddy Ryan era has been fed to your generation a fan fiction that didn't exist. It was one of the crappiest because Buddy literally was incompetent as a head coach. And he's celebrated in this town. There are people of my generation who literally will tell you that the Buddy Ryan era was better than the Andy Reid era. That Buddy Ryan was better than Andy Reid. They like Buddy better than Andy. And Andy was let us into at least an era of competitiveness. Unbelievable.
My
gosh.
Football music. We got to get your 3 observations for the rest of the NFL. This is a football Monday.
It is. Gotta love it. Hey, there was a lot to watch. A lot to watch and a lot to notice. The Chicago Bears at least opened the door a little bit, but not really because they took control. It was the team you didn't want to win. I said, go Pack, go on Friday afternoon. We needed the Pack to win on Saturday night. And for a while, it looked like, wow, that door is going to be open. But it's not. Not in reality. The Bears come back late, and that team, to me, is the Washington Commanders of 2024 with a more legitimate chance to win. They are a better team than last year's Commanders, but they remind me a lot of last year's Commanders. A little bit of a horseshoe up the butt syndrome, and the Bears are going to be a tough out, having to play in that building. It's going to be a wild, raucous place to play. But I could easily see the Bears, if they're the 2 seed, losing to a 7 seed Packers if Jordan Love's healthy and gets back for that game. So it may be just what the Eagles need as the 3 seed to get a second home game.
I think that's all very fair.
That's all fair there, and it's just, but I respect the hell out of what the Bears have done. It's been really, really good. I think the slander police many, many times in sports overreact to everything. And I was somebody coming out of college that overreacted to what I had seen in college out of Trevor Lawrence. Now, I had seen Trevor play in high school, so I was really wanting to see Trevor Lawrence come into the NFL and be great. And I watched him play under incompetent coaches. Trevor Lawrence has got a brilliant coach now.
Yes, he does.
And Trevor Lawrence looks freaking amazing. Trevor Lawrence looks like the quarterback I always thought he was going to look like. He is absolutely outrageous. And right now, he's outplaying a lot of the big-name, brand-name quarterbacks in the NFL.
That was against a good Broncos defense, too.
I mean, that was a great win for Jacksonville, and it opens the door. Denver's still in the lead dog position in the AFC for home field advantage, but Jacksonville, Duval, making it really, really interesting there. And I've said it all year long, and I'll just stick to it. Everybody was scoffing at the Carolina Panthers, how bad they are, how the Panthers aren't real. The Panthers' defense is real. The Panthers' young team is scrappy as hell. The division sucks.
I don't think it was whether or not you didn't believe in the defense. It was whether or not you believe in Bryce Young.
Well, Bryce,
I think that's what it was.
And by the way, I'm not spiking the football there because I had my doubts on Bryce Young too.
Right.
But the Panthers are a team that has played really, really well, and I have no freaking idea what has happened to the Buccaneers. And my college classmate Todd Bowles.
They've lost, 5 of their last 6?
They look horrible. And I think, just a theory, when Todd Bowles threw his players under the bus 3 weeks ago.
That was a bad.
Yeah, I got a feeling it may be, if they don't win the division, if they don't win and go to the playoffs, I think it might be Todd's end.
Wow.
And that moment may end up coming back to haunt them.
By the way, 5 of their last 6. How about 6 of their last 7?
And Baker Mayfield with a Brett Favre-type interception to end the game.
Yeah, it was miscommunication between him and Mike Evans.
In field goal range.
Evans actually took the blame for it.
He says he took the blame for it, yeah. I think on the broadcast,
he stopped running his route. He then tried changing upfield, and Baker was throwing
it. Was
thinking Evans would. So I wouldn't put that solely on
No, it's not solely on
Baker,
him, but it was just a weird day.
He also had a lot of weird balls at the end of that game where he just kept throwing to nobody.
Yeah.
Where,
by the way, he had that
they're
run.
Lost a little bit.
He had a few runs yesterday where he took off, though. But
oh, yeah.
I think Todd, and I root for Todd. I hope he has success, but except when he plays the Eagles. But That was bad. Like, I think throwing his players under the bus a few weeks ago.
That may have been not a great.
Killed the Juju?
Sure.
A little bit.
All right,
Might have done that.
coming up next. What does Jalen Hurts think of all the success the Eagles have had since he's taken over as the starting quarterback? The one a lot of people wanted benched just 2 weeks ago. You'll hear from Jalen Hurts. We'll continue this debate about whether or not it's not even close. This 5-year stretch the Eagles are on versus really 2004 was the only other one that we can think of.
Yeah, there's no other one to compare it to, believe me.
It is Kincade Salciunas, 97.5, The Fanatic.
John Mark.
It is 7:41 here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5 Fanatic. It is the number one Christmas song in my opinion. Screw that Last Christmas I Gave You My Heart. This is the Christmas song, especially the Nat King Cole version, to me is the number one Christmas song.
You love it. Your greatest.
And I don't understand how Wham! Last Christmas can be number one. It makes no sense to me.
Yeah, you just picked the wrong version of this song. I mean, it was just re-recorded better last week.
Connor Thomas's version's even better. Like think about it for a second. Like, this is why I get so upset with the Last Christmas thing. It's Christmas morning. So in this case, it'll be Thursday, right? You know, I can't wait. Coop's gonna, Mom, Dad, Santa came, right? We're gonna run down the steps. There's gonna be all these presents, and we're gonna put on Christmas music, and I'm gonna hear that. I'm gonna hear.
And that's gonna feel like Christmas.
I'm gonna cry, right? Like seeing the joy on his face that Santa came. I don't want to hear Last Christmas I gave you my heart. Like, that's gonna, like, what? That doesn't do anything for me. Why is that number one for you?
I think this is a cold take by you. It's a good song.
No, it is the take. It's a better take than John's. This
Obviously
not even close.
Obviously not. It's been a pretty good response.
No, because I'm not. You know what? I'm not afraid to say it. That's why. Because everybody wants to go with the grain. Because it's the number one song, most streamed song. So we got to listen to Wham.
Wake me up before I go.
That's what I'm talking about. Like, you wake up Christmas, think of all the magic of Christmas Day, and you want to listen to that?
There we go.
All right, so box.
All right. Jalen Hurts, after yesterday's game, or Saturday's game, excuse me, he was asked about winning the division back-to-back years, snapping a streak that had gone 21 years. And, of course, ever since he took over starting for the Philadelphia Eagles, it has been nothing but success, going to the playoffs 5 straight years, getting to 2 conference championships, winning 2 conference championships, getting to a Super Bowl, winning 1, playing his you-know-what off in the Super Bowl 57. You and I agree. Look, you ran into a dynasty, and then you ended the dynasty 2 years later to the point where they don't even make the playoffs this year. Here was Jalen Hurts being Jalen Hurts after the game Saturday.
I mean, I've said it multiple times. These times, they're rare times. So it's something that we all need to soak in and relish in this moment right now and take it a day at a time as we always have. Keep the main thing the main thing. Keep the main thing the main thing. That's what we've done for 5 years since everybody's collectively been here. That's been my approach since I've been an Eagle. And I think as a team, just the caliber of guys that we've been able to get with the mentality that, where they come from and their backgrounds. And defensively, the vibe that they have and that continuity that they have and everything kind of coming together. We just want to continue to improve.
Just keep the main thing, man. It's the message that's never wavered except for the 2023 when it was since when did winning not become the main thing. But other than that, keep the main thing the main thing has been the same message from Jalen Hurts for the last 5 years. Let's get back to some calls, Johnny. Let's go to Don from Darby. What's up, Donnie?
NFC East champs. Give me a break, John. That's like being a valedictorian at Chichester High School. Nothing to be proud of.
Nothing to be proud of.
Clifton Arby's in high school. We going to celebrate that too? We squeaked past a third-string quarterback on a tanking Redskins team with an idiot coach who's challenging challenges. Real impressive. Yeah, we're in the playoffs, but we're hobbling in like it's me at Casey's on the last stop of the Aaron Express. You do the math on that one, John.
Yeah,
Our kicker, Missy Elliott, is missing more threes than a WNBA game. Our kick returner, Shipley, is worse at his job than Andy Reid's nutritionist. And the tush-push is like a night out at the Havertown Barnabies. Nice. It ain't the same no more. It leads to penalties, and it's time to hang it up.
Well,
we're going into the postseason.
I actually like the Barnabies in Havertown.
Than my boiler when it bit the dust last week. And I'll tell you what, if it wasn't for John over at JDB Plumbing and Heating, I'd still be using oven heat. Apparently, he's the only John that takes my call seriously. So if you positivity bunnies want to hop around for squeaking past the scout team, go ahead. I'll save my joy and excitement for when Christmas is over and for a win over Josh Allen, not freaking Josh Johnson. Does that sound fair enough, guys?
Well, Andrew, I can't help but think that this is Don, right?
Don from Darby.
Don, this sounds.
Don, what's the problem? Answer the question.
Don, I'm going to tell you, you definitely have that Delco energy because, I mean, it sounds like I'm at a family dinner. But I got to tell you, it sort of reminds me of stuff we follow on Instagram with DJ Gabriel. I mean, it really does.
That voice does sound
It does.
familiar.
I mean, could this be, or are we uncovering something here or what?
I don't do any of that TikTok shenanigans, John. I've been pouring concrete for 38 years. And you got the nerve to tell me I want TikTok? I'm being I'm calling to you guys to tell you that you positivity bunnies need to get off your little whatever you're doing and your freaking Last Christmas and singing Jolly Holly Jolly. We stink, John.
You think Andrew would make it in Delco? You think he's Delco worthy?
No. What are you kidding me? Yeah, he's one of these snowflakes. I listen to you guys. I don't know what this kid's doing. Okay, he has no idea what it's like being in Delco.
I'm telling you. I mean, this is unbelievable.
Sounds like a fake tough Delco guy.
I think he's a real Delco guy. I said he comes from a good bloodline. Hey, DJ, what you got going on, man? We love your stuff, by the way. We all follow you, and we love you. This was a nice surprise this morning. And I saw you the other night out at the comedy show, and let me tell you, if you have a chance, if you're not following DJ Gabriel on Instagram, he's awesome. But I saw you the other night at the comedy show. You were outstanding. That takes great guts to get up there, because that's working without a net. And he did 14, 15 minutes?
20 minutes.
Oh, my gosh. It felt faster, see? It felt faster watching.
Yeah, man. Yeah, dude. So, John, you're a funny guy. You guys are great, but would you have the guts? How about you, Andrew? Would you get the guts to get up there and do stand-up?
No, it's why I do radio, because I don't have to look at anybody when I talk.
Yeah.
You guys did a great job, but I'm going to try to get him out there sometime. And I think Connor would try it. Connor?
Yeah. You know, if I say yes on the radio, you're going to make me do it. So I'm going to say no to keep myself, but I would.
Okay, it was a great time. Great time getting a chance to meet you, though.
I don't know if you guys do a lot of bets against each other on the air, but that's a great punishment or loss of a bet thing, is just to get up and do a 5-minute set at an open mic.
How about it next time? How about we'll set something up like that.
I'd be like the Joker from the Joker movie, where he's just laughing at his own jokes and nobody's laughing. That would be my problem. That's the thing. I don't want to be having tomatoes thrown at me.
Yeah, you don't want that.
Yeah, but it's good for you. Toughen you up a little bit.
Are you going to be out at the Borough in Downingtown next open night?
I don't know. We'll see if they invite me back. They had me on. They said that I brought in John Kincade, so my stock is pretty high up there.
Oh, I thought that would make your stock plummet. But
that's setting the bar low out there. But hey, great job, man, and have a great holiday. And say hello
brother.
Say hello to those 4 kids. By the way, 4 kids.
Yeah, man, absolutely. You guys are great. Thanks so much.
Merry Christmas, man.
4 DJ kids, Gabriel, man.
4 kids under 7. That's
a household.
I told him, I said, you can get board games.
Good luck this week, man.
You can play board games.
Good luck.
There's other things you can do.
Good luck this week.
Still time to put out great content from the car, though.
He does. DJ Gabriel, go check him out. He's awesome.
Damn right,
and
man.
A good, and Delco royalty. I know a lot of people he's related to.
Oh yeah.
Well, in Delco, everybody knows everybody. So that's the way it works.
Coming up next, speaking of royalty, Andrew DeCecco joins us to talk about the Philadelphia Eagles win over the Commanders on Saturday. We'll ask him about his thoughts on the 2-point conversion as well. And is this era the greatest era for Eagles franchise history? We all agree yes, but not even close. It's 2004. That's what John Kincade thinks. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The streak is over. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are officially back-to-back NFC East champions after their victory in Washington over the weekend. It is the first time since 2004 that the division has had a back-to-back champion. That streak has now come to an end, and that fact was not lost on Nick Sirianni. He talked about it after the win.
It's hard to do this. Obviously, in this division, we've seen the data says, it's hard to repeat as winners in this division. We're happy about that. We'll celebrate it. We've got a lot to clean up, and then we got a lot more goals on our mind.
So the Birds are now 10-5. They've won the division. They've clinched a playoff spot. What's next for them? Well, it will be trying to improve their seeding as the regular season wraps up. They're currently the 3 seed in the NFC. The Sixers had 2 wins over the weekend, taking the Knicks and Mavericks down on Friday and Saturday, respectively. They're off tonight. They'll host the Nets tomorrow. Flyers had a tough shootout loss to the Rangers on Saturday. They will play the Canucks tonight. Puck drop is at 7:30 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on The Fanatic. Andrew DeCecco joins us next for his takeaways from the Eagles' win in Washington. This update is brought to you by Super Short. Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get Super Short. Not kind of short, not pretty short, but Super Short coming soon. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage, 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
7:55. What song is it? Oh, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. I was so confused by it. I feel like I'm walking through Disney World right now. 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1 Burlington, Philadelphia.
like it.
Beasley Media Group Station broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, Power and Possibilities.
You're anti-happiness.
No, because here's what the problem is. By taking behind the curtain, we're so worried about playing certain songs because copyright infringement.
Well, and they sue you.
Yeah.
These buggers do sue you.
You're right. We should get sued, Andrew.
Yeah, you want to get sued?
I hear stations all over the city playing songs. That's all right.
They sue you.
Okay, we'll take it out of your check.
If you're willing to take the hit, I mean, go for
honestly,
it.
Merry Christmas.
They sue you.
For the city
They
of
really
Philadelphia,
do.
I might.
No, you don't want it. You don't know the cost. You're talking like $2,500, $5,000? No, you don't want that.
Someone on the YouTube said you're just mad there's no Lucas the Lithuanian donkey Christmas
That wasn't
song.
just somebody. That was
By the way,
our man, Joe.
Is there a Lithuanian Christmas song?
Yeah. I mean,
Oh, no, is there? I didn't know there was.
Well, I mean, there's
I'm
also...
I'm not being flippant. I'm
no,
telling you.
there's also songs that we know just sung in Lithuanian, but there are specific songs to
there are?
Lithuania. Yes.
Okay, find one. Find one for us before the end of the show.
Well, will the Lithuania president come striking down upon us?
I don't think they will. I don't think they're even going to know that it exists.
All right, join us now on the Comcast Business Hotline. Every day in business is a big day. Let Comcast Business help you move forward with what's next. Does a great job covering the birds for Inside the Birds. And, of course, here on 97.5 The Fanatic, our man Andrew the Checo joins us. Andrew, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. How are you?
Good morning, buddy.
We're doing great. We can't wait. There was a debate that started on this show about the Philadelphia Eagles that we'll get to soon. But first and foremost, let's start with the game on Saturday. They go into halftime trailing because of a couple of missed field goals by Jake Elliott. But I'm curious to get your thoughts on how the Eagles' offense looked from quarter one to quarter four. And is this just another step in the right direction for ever since Nick Sirianni has become a little bit more involved?
Yeah, well, they threw the football. I thought it was pretty balanced, Andrew, and they weren't as much under center in this game as they were against the Raiders. That was something I was looking to see if they were going to lean into that a little bit more, but they sort of got away from that. They were in the shotgun a lot, but they ran the football a lot more effectively than they have all season. And you could look at it and say it was the Commanders, but I think from an execution standpoint, there's a lot to be encouraged with. Saquon Barkley, 132 yards. Yes, 48 came on that long run, but he was running hard. It looked like vintage Saquon Barkley. And Tank Bigsby has some juice and acceleration, and I do believe that you're going to see both of those players factor prominently in the postseason as a 1-2 punch and try to wear teams down. And I thought that the passing concepts maybe weren't as advanced as they were in previous weeks, but Jalen Hurts made some big-time throws. That one to Dallas Goedert where he stepped up in the pocket, navigated it, and kind of floated one in there, and Goedert goes up and gets the football was the throw of the game, in my opinion. And then they also got A.J. Brown involved really early in that game. I think there's a lot of positives to take away from that.
You know, we talked about the fact is in the last few weeks that they were going to build upon these new concepts that they were installing since Nick Sirianni's gotten involved with the offense. And then they come out Saturday, though, in the first half and don't run an offense that looked anything like the Charger game or the game the week before against the Raiders. What do you think they were doing? What was the strategy there?
Honestly, I think that they're maybe experimenting with some things, trying to merge what they had been doing with some of the concepts that we saw over the previous 2 weeks. But honestly, I believe that their approach in this game was to try and attack them on the ground and really go heavy in that. And Dallas Goedert wasn't utilized as much as we were seeing over the past couple of weeks, and that was a little surprising. I think he had just 3 targets in the game. But their approach was definitely to go run heavy in this one. Jalen Hurts made some plays with his legs in that game as well, and I'm not exactly sure. I think we'll get a better idea, John, when you look at this Buffalo Bills game where I believe they're going to have to revert to the offense that we saw against the Chargers and the Raiders, more under center type of things, because Josh Allen, that's not a great Bills team by any stretch, but they can score some points, and I think you want to see how that type of offense will fare against a team like that to give you a sort of a better barometer.
Does Nick Sirianni begin to think twice about sending out the kicking unit, field goal unit, after Jake Elliott has now missed four out of his last 5 games? He's missed a field goal in those.
Yeah, I think that's certainly going to alter decision making. Now, I don't see a world where the Eagles replace Jake Elliott this season. Now, in the offseason, you may have a conversation about that, but this late in the game, I don't see it. Could that alter the way that they approach certain situations down the stretch and in the postseason? Certainly. Jake Elliott, from kicks of 50 yards or more, he's 50%. And now the league average, I believe, is about 67%. So that kind of encapsulates the season that he's having right now. He's struggling, and that is a concern. But if you're the Eagles, you stick with him, and you hope that he kind of kicks his way out of it. He didn't have an overwhelming season last year either, but he was pretty. He came up when they needed him to in the postseason, so that has to. I imagine that's factoring into their thought process, and I don't view it as them showing blind faith as much as I view it as you're not really going to find a better option this late in the game. But I do believe, Andrew, that it may affect the way that they from a strategy standpoint how they affect or how they go after certain. You may be more aggressive on 4th down now, and you may have to. Not necessarily always go for 2 points or anything like that, but you may be more aggressive in certain down and distances than you maybe were previously.
How much is it the offensive approach, or how much is it just Saquon is maybe rounding into form late in the season?
Well, I've believed and I maintain that Saquon's the same guy that he was last season. And there are, I don't think he lost a step or anything like that. I think there were a lot of things at play. We look at Saquon himself, who was reliant on the home run far too often instead of necessarily taking what was presented to him. And he even admitted as much. He knew that was sort of the book on him coming out of Penn State when he spoke in the locker room late last week. And, he sort of disputed it, but he was self-aware that was sort of the perception. And I think that he's sort of becoming a little bit more patient. You don't often see a player of that caliber cognizant of those things, but I also believe that a lot of it had to do with the offensive line as well. They were struggling to get push, and Saquon, as a result, was getting met at the line of scrimmage more often than not. I think he went into that game with 38 negative runs, so that it's very uncharacteristic, but I think he's starting to really round into form here. And I think going into this game, I believe that I mentioned, maybe it was with you guys, that I thought that we're going to see a Saquon Barkley type of game in the postseason, and it happened a little bit earlier. I think you're going to continue to see them lean into that a little bit more.
Andrew Tacheko joins us here on the Comcast Business Hotline. You mentioned earlier, if Jake Elliott continues to struggle, maybe you start going for 2. What did you make of the Eagles going for 2 late in the 4th quarter against the Commanders when they were up 100 points?
Well, I guess the analytics say, they went for 2, we go up by 19, et cetera. There's going to be some who don't agree with it. I don't necessarily understand the analytics part of that when they were down 2 left tackles, right? Laramie Tunsil and Brandon Coleman, and they were down by however many points at that time. They had Josh Johnson as the quarterback,
and they just punted down 11. Like, they conceded the football game. They told you what they thought.
Even rewinding it back to that first drive that they had when they recovered the Shipley fumble, they kicked a field goal at the 3-yard line. It was a 4-10 football team, and so that they were playing. They were playing to lose, in my opinion. So, yeah, I mean, I thought that. It was a curious decision. We'll say that. I didn't quite understand it, but I'm sure the analytics folks out there will explain it to me.
But that's what Sirianni said. And Andrew, I'll say this. I believe that Nick Sirianni truly thought, hey, this is the decision that we should make based off of my studies, right? We've heard the my studies a couple of times this year. I truly believe that. But I think that's also being so lost in the moment and the sheet of paper in front of you.
It's illogical
that you don't realize, I caused that fight. And by the way, let's say you're still playing your starters week 18 because you're trying to get the 2 seed. You're playing that team that you just pissed off, and I have to worry about cheap shots now.
That's fair. That fight doesn't happen. That's a great point. And, Tyler Steen isn't going to have to take on a hefty fine, and who knows, maybe it's a one-game suspension. Yeah, it's just I didn't understand it at the time. It didn't make a lot of sense to me. Just kick the extra point, and I mean, they were already had a convincing lead, and they had that game well in hand, especially with what was that, tick over 4 minutes left in that game, or whatever it was. So yeah, I think that's fair to question that, certainly.
Well, we have two questions. I mean, two things we need to know from you early this week. We need to know what you sniff out about the status of Lane Johnson, and we need to know the status of Jalen Carter, and what, just gut instinct before you do any of your reporting on it that we'll hear about this week. What are you guessing for this Buffalo game?
I presume that you'll see my gut is telling me that Lane Johnson is going to factor into the plans this week, and I would say maybe Jalen Carter. I always view Jalen Carter as, a hair behind Lane Johnson in terms of the recovery process. But that this is going to be a really interesting week because they need those guys. We saw how the weekend of football played out, and this game matters, and but you have to balance that because you don't want to rush back two preeminent players on both sides of the football if there's any concern that there could be a re-aggravation or if there's going to be, if the timetable is a little bit too truncated, if that makes sense.
Truncated, really, good word.
I'm really curious to see what this week looks like in terms of the status report.
All right, Andrew.
But I think Lane Johnson, John, is probably a little bit closer.
Last thing for you. We had a big debate less than an hour ago. So we were talking about, we took a moment to just say, wow, this is amazing. The Eagles have won the division back-to-back years, snapping that 21-year streak. The last 5 years, they've been into the playoffs every year. They've been to 2 Super Bowls. They won one. First, we'll just ask you the question. Do you believe that this is the greatest 5-year stretch in Eagles franchise history?
Yeah.
Okay.
I do. I think this is the golden era of Eagles football.
John and I are in agreement.
And Connor, we're all in agreement.
Connor. John then said there's no other era that even comes close. And I believe that it's crazy to say that 2000 to 04, quote unquote, doesn't come close, considering they went to 4 straight conference championships, won 4 straight division titles, made the playoffs in 5 straight years. Obviously, the big difference is this year, this era won a Super Bowl, that one didn't. Do you believe it's not even close?
Yeah, I don't think it's close. Appearing in 2 Super Bowls, winning one, and they have a pretty damn good chance of getting back. If just taking a look around the NFC landscape, I think that this Eagles era is special, and that's why, it's important to kind of take note of the success that the Eagles are having under this organization with the leadership of Jeffrey Lurie, Nick Sirianni, Jalen Hurts, because you don't know when you're going to see it again. And I think that that's something that shouldn't be taken for granted.
Oh, absolutely not. All right, thanks, brother. We appreciate the time
Andrew.
as always.
Andrew, have a good holiday, man.
I think I'll talk to you. No, wait, no, that's next week. Never mind.
Next week.
Talk to you later. Enjoy your Christmas,
See you,
man.
buddy.
Have a great week.
Take care.
Have a great holiday, guys. Appreciate it.
There he is, Andrew Pacheco. I'm getting the weeks.
The weeks start merging.
And the Eagles playing on a Saturday. Everything's messed up.
Well, look, a football guy told you the answer, but it's good.
I have to question his football guyness.
Yeah, here we go.
After that,
here we go.
I don't even want to ask the what.
By
if.
the way,
I have a what if question.
I will tell you this: not one, but 2 now. Ex-Eagles are in my text line.
What do they know?
Guess what? No, they're ready to throw hands.
What do they know?
With me. They're ready to throw hands. Listen, I appreciate them listening to the show.
Then they do know what they're talking about.
By the way, and I appreciate them listening to a great station. Are ready to throw hands over this take.
I have a what if question
that it's not even close.
I'm afraid to ask.
Don't be a coward. Ask it next.
All right, I will. And we also have Monday morning radio host coming up next. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Whether you're at the
is 8:13 here on Kincade Salciunas 97.5. The Fanatic on this football Monday. Brought to us by the local Bryant Home Comfort Teams and OPayBryant.com to keep your HVAC in the starting lineup. Eagles played on Saturday. They beat the Commanders. They won the division title back-to-back years. We do this every single Monday after an Eagles game. It's time now for the Monday morning radio host.
Now, the Monday morning radio host on 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
And it's brought to us by who, Connor?
Our friends over at Lundy Law. For over 70 years, Lundy Law has been fighting for injured people. So if you're upset your division rival went for 2 and you need them, remember the name Lundy Law, your injury lawyers. Visit LundyLaw.com. That's LundyLaw.com.
We do what we do best. We don't break down film. We break down what other people say. We do this after every Eagles game. It's Nick Sirianni's post-game press conference. Here he was talking about Saquon's angry runs.
Man, he's awesome. Just everything he brings to this football team is awesome. Obviously, first and foremost, super talented guy, but great leader, great player to have in the locker room, helping lead the guys. And guys get fired up when he has those runs. He brings a lot of energy and a lot of excitement to everybody, and he's dangerous to get in the open field and make big plays at all times. So awesome that he's on our football team.
The reason why I wanted to play that, you asked Andrew sort of Saquon coming into form, and he never wavered. He's always said that it's been the same Saquon, just the holes weren't there. It was good to see back-to-back weeks where he's been running the football a little bit better.
I mean, he absolutely,
much better.
He looks fantastic.
Yeah, he's looked great, which that will only help the Eagles if they want to accomplish anything come playoff time, because you know that's what they want to do. They want to run the football. Here he is talking about the diversity in the play calling, which was probably the number one takeaway I had from this game, that it wasn't like, all right, this is what we do, so let's keep on doing it. It looked different. The shotgun, excessive shotgun in the first half, then the running the ball under center in the second half, they mixed things up. Here was Sirianni.
I think that when you're balanced and you can do both, they were doing some things there that they were playing some of their base personnel versus our sub personnel, so we spread them out, and Kevin did a really good job of calling that, and Jalen did a great job in the receivers and the protection and everything that goes along with it of moving the ball down the field. There's multiple ways to do it, right? You can scare a team out of doing that. Now they kept going back to it, but really good job by our guys and that's sometimes what it is. You take what the defense gives you. That doesn't mean you don't run it against their base personnel, because you can do that as well, but that was working at that time, and we were able to move the ball down the field.
Nobody could use the predictable word.
No.
Except for when they were up big and they were running the football.
And that was fine.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you this, when they're up big and they're running the football, that's 3 weeks in a row, though. Even they weren't up big 3 weeks ago, they still were able to run the ball in the fourth quarter. That's pretty good.
That's a big sign.
Yeah, it's a big sign.
Now, speaking of predictable, offense may not have been, but we all knew this was predictable. Here was Nick Sirianni talking about Jake Elliott.
I have the utmost confidence in Jake. Like any team, you have ups and downs, and that's just not offense, defense, that's special teams, and that's your kicker too. I have a ton of confidence in him that he'll rebound from this, because he's mentally tough and a great kicker, and we have the utmost faith in Jake moving forward.
Speaking of predictable, because we all knew he was gonna. We got Jake's back, even though,
of course,
you went for it on a 4th and 7, which would have been the same spot you kicked the field goal the last time.
Absolutely.
So I don't really believe you when you say that. But we got to give ourselves some credit. Every once in a while, we're allowed to pat ourselves in the back. Maybe not when it comes to like predictions about how a game will play.
Well, mine are good.
But I want to play this clip from the show on Friday, around 9:30 Friday morning. Kincade and Salciunas had this to say. If they win, I can already tell you the Sirianni answer. All right, Saturday night. They beat the Commanders Saturday, right? We're gonna enjoy this one for now.
Yes.
But we're gonna but look, it wasn't just about winning the division. We still have a lot of things that we want to accomplish.
Oh, sure.
He already has practiced it. We're gonna enjoy this one now.
That's what it's gonna be. It's already written for.
We're going to enjoy this one now. Will be how the sentence starts.
We'll enjoy this tonight. Yeah, we'll enjoy this tonight. Take a few minutes to breathe about it, but then we're going to...
Oh, God. Here was Nick Sirianni Saturday night.
Everyone's vying to get into the playoffs to be able to go do what the ultimate goal is. And so we're excited to be there. And I think, it is. This division's had so much parity in it throughout the years to be able to be a back-to-back winner and get ourselves into the playoffs. And obviously our goals are much higher. I think that we've raised the expectations of what, we expect. And, so we're pumped to get in, but we got more work to do. We'll go back to work. We'll celebrate this tonight. Players will be off tomorrow. Coaches will be in, and we'll get back to work and try to improve from this game.
He's the most predictable coach in the world when it comes to press conferences.
He's gotten a lot better with press conferences, but that was you called that one from a mile away. Because that's what he does.
He tweaks things. Like, competitive advantage has now become not best for business.
Yeah.
What business are we talking about, dude? What business are you running?
Terrible.
Fortune 500 company?
No.
Like,
no.
What business are you running? Like, there's little tweaks in his press conferences every single year, but he's the most predictable coach.
No, the CEO needs to be able to run things.
Well,
in a Fortune 500 company.
Starting to with the offense.
Yeah.
All right, so I do have a horrible what-if question. So we're talking about this era, the 5-year stretch.
You're getting crushed on this.
Except for 2 former Eagles that love the station.
Well, that said, I appreciate them listening.
God forbid they have an early exit.
Oh, it's bad.
Like first round.
First round, don't win a game.
So that would be a part of the 5-year stretch where they went to a Super Bowl, went to 2 Super Bowls and won one. But what if they had 3 out of 5 wild card round losses?
Well, the first one wouldn't matter because the first one doesn't matter. First year of a head coach, they got to the playoffs first year. Doesn't matter. I mean, that's good for a first-year Eagles coach to make the playoffs. That's pretty good. And the other 2, no, absolutely not. They went to 2 Super Bowls.
That would not matter to you.
No. It doesn't change anything. You think it's going to swing it back to that crappy era? People are trying to tell you.
Wow.
Dude, you can't call that a crappy era.
No, I did that more for the listeners that are threatening to throw hands on me. No, what I'm saying to you is the painful losses of that era. It was horrendous underachievement. Horrendous. The 3 biggest games played in that era,
man.
The 3 biggest games they played in that era, that 5-year era you're trying to tell me was close. They wet the bed in every one of them in spectacular fashion. They played their worst. At the biggest moments, they played their worst. The memories are like Saving Private Ryan's opening scenes.
I hope one day my horrendous underachievement is the level of what that team was able to do.
Oh, my God. No, those 3 biggest moments. Think of the 3 biggest moments in this 5-year stretch. Think of the 3 biggest moments in that 5-year stretch. Those were 3 of the most cataclysmic choke jobs ever.
So on Pro Football Reference, they have the approximate value most important player on the team that year. Do you know who the most important player, according to them, in 2000 was?
In 2000?
Yeah.
I don't know.
How about that Hugh Douglas?
Well, that Hugh Douglas is a talented man. He is. What's ever happened to that Hugh? Fantastic guy, too. Loved him. You used to see him in Atlanta all the time. Whatever happened to him?
All right, coming up next.
Great dude.
Check the text line.
Wonderful
I'll give you my
person.
3 observations from the rest of the NFL. It's Kincade and Salciunas 97.5, the Fanatic. All right, let's talk about your house. Abnormally dry conditions, they lead to drought. A lack of rainwater and reduced moisture in the soil can damage your home, specifically its foundation. You know why? Because of the soil's expansion and shrinkage. We all know that issue, right? When it comes to your soil. Groundworks experts are here to help. If you've noticed your home has cracked bricks, basement floor, or concrete cracks, floor and wall gaps, bowed basement walls, or cracked chimneys, these problems will only get worse during drier times. That's why you need Groundworks to come out and identify the problem and provide a foundation solution. Or maybe they could put some something on your microphone to stop squeaking while I'm trying to do the read because you heard me say crack. Visit groundworks.com today to book your free inspection with a no-obligation quote included. They'll come on out. They'll tell you exactly what went wrong, how they're going to fix it, and they do all of that but for free. They'll tell you exactly how much it's going to cost to get the job done. Groundworks is ready to take care of you during wet season or dry season. There's a reason why they're the trusted local experts.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Locking up the division. I'm Connor Thomas, and that's what the Eagles were able to do officially by taking down Washington over the weekend. They are NFC champions in the East for the 2nd straight year, and it's the first time since 2004 that the division has had a back-to-back champion. Jalen Hurts talked about the accomplishment after the game.
We've got a lot of ball in front of us. It's a great accomplishment today, given all the success and all the competitive football that is going on in this division over the last 20-plus years. To be able to win it back-to-back is a huge accomplishment.
So the win moves the Eagles to 10-5 on the season. They've locked up the division. They clinched a playoff spot. So next up for them will be trying to figure out their seeding. They're currently the 3 seed in the NFC. The Sixers had 2 wins over the weekend. They beat the Knicks and Mavericks on back-to-back nights, Friday and Saturday. They're off tonight. They'll host the Nets tomorrow. Flyers had a tough shootout loss to the Rangers on Saturday. They'll host the Canucks tonight. Puck drop for that game is at 7:30 p.m. You can hear it live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by the New Jersey Department of Transportation. What if the last thing a motorcyclist sees is you driving while distracted? Stay focused on driving safely. Visit drivesafelynj.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
I feel like I'm watching a sports broadcast now, and they're going to commercial break, and this is the song that they're playing. We're going to hear this Christmas Day, I guarantee it, on Netflix.
I don't think
this
I'm going
version.
I'm going to take Ray Dunn's advice.
What's that?
Ray Dunn.
Smoke cigarettes?
Ray Dunn. That was awesome, by the way. Those are fantastic. Those are so funny watching Ray. You haven't seen the...
You haven't seen these?
No.
Oh, dude, Middays has made Ray a smoker. And there's AI photos of him smoking cigarettes all over. You have not seen any of this?
No. They're fantastic.
I'll look this up next break.
They make me laugh every time.
They've basically made it out that Ray Dunn is a guy that just rips heaters.
Smokes, drinks Red Bulls, and smokes. But Ray Dunn the other day on Middays with Marks said, I really don't need sports on Christmas. I don't need it. He goes, it's okay to have it, I guess, sometimes to have something on, but it's not something that I need in my life. And I don't think I can agree with anything more, is that I don't need sports on Christmas.
I'll say this. I like sports on Christmas, Thanksgiving when it's not my team. I don't want to deal with the stress because
of having it be your team.
Yeah, because then you're miserable, right? Like you're like, oh damn, my team sucked, and you're trying to have a nice day on Christmas. Like it's actually kind of nice that these games suck on Christmas because it's just background. It's background TV. It's I host Christmas.
Right.
There will be people
you're
that
not
are going to
be stressing while you're even preparing.
No. There's going to be people that are eating at the kitchen table. The guys will be eating on the couch, watching the game, and it's just going to be on. They're not going to be locked in like, oh, this game means something.
Okay.
Yeah, that's nice. I like that.
And for me, it's my out because I got to bounce around to a couple households on Christmas every year.
Okay.
So it is my, hey, I need to go to the next place, but I'm going to say, yeah, this game's on. I got to go catch this for work.
Okay. They go for work. That's the other thing. The work, what people sometimes forget is, we're the radio partners of the Sixers, and when they were, when there was still hope, they were playing Christmas on Christmas, 3 straight years?
Yeah, they had a run.
Everybody's got to work, right? Like,
is that the best 3-year run of Christmases for you? You going to make a statement?
No, I would say the best 3 years of Christmas were probably during my childhood.
I would imagine they were.
Hey, awesome. I will say, when there was still hope, 4th seed in the East.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah,
Take notice.
I'm just saying.
Take note. I'm not saying, but I'm also not saying.
All right, let's go to the phones, and I'll give you my 3 observations from the rest of the NFL. Let's go to Stan in Drexel Hill. What up, Stan?
What's up, Stan?
Yo, what's going on, fellas? How you guys doing?
We're great,
Good,
man. How
buddy.
are you?
I'm doing great. Listen, I gotta say, man, I'm with John on this one, man. As far as
You guys are all just wrong.
it's not even close to me. I'm gonna tell you what it's like for me. It's like I used to go to Clemington Park all the time as a kid, man, when I was young, and I loved it. When I went to Six Flags, I was like, I never want to go back to Clemington Park again. That's what it felt like. And as a kid, no, seriously, and I was about 12, 13 when the Eagles were losing. John made a great point. Again, when they lost, I felt it. I was upset, and then I went outside and I hooped.
Yeah, then you
played my games or something like that. Like, that's exactly what happened.
You
Whereas
don't feel
now,
the same as when you're an adult. Yeah.
Yeah, you don't process it the same way. Like my week is ruined when the Eagles lose a regular game. So when they were losing, when they lost, even though John's right again, they played well against Kansas City, and you don't take anything away from them for that one, but it hurt. When they lost to the Patriots back in 2004, I was upset, but I got over it very, very quickly.
There was probably a girl in one of your classes you were chasing after.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm saying. Like, you don't have the same type of attention for it because you have other things that's going on. So I don't think it's really close. This last span right here, this has been the most chesty that I think anybody can be, talking to anybody in our division in the league. We're able now to stand eye level to talk all types of serious trash to people because we've actually accomplished something.
It's Philly sports
Whereas
history. We've never had it better.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So it's like now when you're going to championship games, yeah, that was great. And then you had those back-breaking choke jobs that they did you right. Like, you can't say anything because you didn't win anything at that time. So I don't think it's very close. I think there's a significant gap between the two eras. And I would say,
it's significant.
I'm with John on this one.
Well, it's all right. You can be wrong for a day, Stan. Usually, I appreciate your opinions, but today's out.
I mean, it's the processing thing, and again, and not the with the age thing is Stan's.
You're an ageist.
No, it is. I'm not trying to be, but it's the thing is, a 10 or a 12-year-old processing something, just experiencing something in life when you're 10 or 12 is not experiencing something when you're 30. It's completely different. Like, it just is the whole. I was so excited for the Andy Reid era, that those going to those title games, because it was something we never experienced. But the scars of that were freaking miserable. It was just like, are you kidding me? We get this close, we're going to go to a Super Bowl, we're going to win it. We were going to win that Super Bowl against the Raiders. I mean, like that, even though the Raiders was the later game, we were the early game that day against Tampa Bay. It was just done. And I was going back to Atlanta to go do my radio show and then fly into the Super Bowl to do Radio Row, and I was going to see my Eagles win a Super Bowl. And then the next year, I was at the NFC Total game again, sitting in the stands. And I was going to see them beat Carolina, and then I was flying back to Atlanta to do my radio show, then go to the Super Bowl, and I was going to be down there in Houston to see the Eagles win. I think you're allowing
emotion to interrupt logic, and
there's no logic.
You're usually logical, John.
No logic in it.
Right now, you're Mr. Emotions.
The logic of that is just a god-awful.
All right, hit me with some football music, please, Connor. My 3 observations from the rest of the NFL. My first one... He continues to feed families. If you've listened to the Atlanta Falcons picks over the last couple weeks, Mr. You like that? Cardinals stink, but Kirk Cousins and the Falcons beat the Cardinals. It's more of a question than an observation. Does Kirk Cousins find himself starting somewhere next year?
The contract might be untenable, but for somebody, but if
does a team say, you know what, Bridge? The draft class sucks this year.
It does.
We all got the quarterback draft. There's no quarterback that's coming out of this draft where you're going to say year one they're an impact player. Teams will draft quarterbacks. You know that's going to happen. They'll talk themselves into thinking that this quarterback's going to be a top 10 pick, and they have to draft them because that's what the league does.
Let me check. They have a potential out for next year.
Sure.
The Falcons. So yeah, they have a $35 million dead cap hit though if he's gone.
Could you see the Kansas City? I don't know what Patrick Mahomes' timeline is.
Probably not them because they won't need him.
Yeah, well, financially, it doesn't make sense.
He'd be a great Las Vegas Raider.
Yeah, but Geno's a 2-year deal. What are you going to have? Geno. You're going to draft a quarterback. You have Geno. You're going to have Kirk Cousins. I don't know. I just wonder, is Kirk Cousins playing himself? It's not like he was spectacular yesterday. It's just he won a football game.
No.
Is he playing himself into being a team trades for him, and he's a bridge for somebody?
Could be.
He's better than freaking Josh Johnson.
Yeah, but Josh Johnson's the third string guy, though. Come on now.
All right, that's number one. Number two, did the Lions miss out on their chance last year?
2 years ago.
Because you can't make the case. Well, and last year, it's just the health. You can't say injury's the reason why this year.
Nope.
And what are you going to say? The change in coordinators? Maybe.
Yes.
But they're 8-7 after that loss to the Steelers, where they're 6.5-point favorites at home against Pittsburgh.
Oh.
And they lose 29-24. And you start looking around like, all right, some of these young guys that they got, you're going to have to pay them soon, right? That's always the issue. Teams always have that issue, is how are you going to keep guys around? You're going to have to start paying these players. The Lions may have missed out on their window.
They may have.
And we may not have noticed it until now because there's no excuse anymore. The Lions being 8-7, there's no excuse for them being 8-7.
No, there's no excuse, and it's bad.
It's
bad.
This
really
is bad.
But when the offense coordinator leaves and goes in your own division and is going to be the coach of the year.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's not good.
That's a major hit. Lastly, they're the Sixers of the NFL. The Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow, 4 touchdown passes, 300, 60?
Was Joe having fun yesterday?
309 yards. Yeah, I'm sure he was.
Did you have fun, Joe?
309 yards. The Cincinnati Bengals are the Philadelphia 76ers of the NFL. Where you go, man, when healthy, look at what they can do.
Yeah, have fun, Joe.
But they're not healthy. And it's a shame because Joe Burrow's a hell of a quarterback.
Yeah,
You can make all the comments you want.
No, I hope he's just having fun. Yeah, I'm worried about him having fun. Make sure he's having fun.
Yeah, I mean, he gets hurt a lot. I worry about his mental health, just like every other athlete.
I wouldn't be having fun if I was him.
No, especially when you have to score 45 points to win because your defense is that bad.
It's not fun.
It's just amazing that the Cincinnati Bengals are a healthy quarterback, not away because their defense is so dreadful, but
their defense is dreadful.
But Joe Burrow just throwing it all over the field.
And what's his name staying? They're saying he's not
Zach
going to
Taylor?
No. McDaniel's not getting fired.
I saw that.
That's what they're thinking. He's not going to get fired. That's how bad they think the quarterback was. And talking to players, they believe that's how bad Tua is. That he he was coaching them up and that so he
Maybe.
may survive this.
I think Tua stinks, so there may be some credence to that, but I don't know what McDaniels is on top of that. So
Yeah.
He'll
not
get
our problem.
He's going to get another shot.
Looks like
All
he may
right.
get another shot.
With a
yeah.
great quarterback class that's coming up. Coming up next, is the dream of the 2 seed still alive? The Eagles have some interesting decisions to make. We'll tell you why next. Also, more on this not even close debate, which I think is crazy. At least former Eagles are on my side. I feel like one of the guys, John.
I may need protective custody.
Oh, dude, I ain't walking out with you. You made your bed.
I might ask Connor to do post-show headlines.
Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Unfiltered with Ricky Bowe.
8:43 here on Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic. By the way, last week when we were talking about the Phillies and sort of what could be the next move, and the reason why we were so upset because the outfield has no pop, because your infield has very little pop. We had a couple people going, "Come on, bro, they still have Murakami." Well, Murakami signed with the Chicago White Sox on a 2-year deal over the weekend. He's the player from Japan, where the reports are strange. He's got a lot of power, but I saw something like if a pitch is over 95 miles an hour, like you can't touch it, which
sounds like a White Sox player.
Like, what are you going to get in major leagues? Like, at this point, there's not many soft throwers anymore in Major League Baseball. But for people that were still holding on to that possibility, that's now gone. So third base is either keep Alec Boehm, you pay Bregman, who's 32 years old, or you do a bridge until, if you call up Aiden Miller this year, it feels like it's running it back.
No, they are. And by the way, the people in the Phillies media corps that are trying to say they're not running it back. They're not running it back. They are running it back. When the big core, the biggest guys you're counting on the lineup are coming back. When the biggest guys you're counting on in the pitching rotation are coming back, yes, they're running it back. Stop trying to spin to me that by changing a lamp on the end table, they're not running it back.
And oh, by the way, the players that for 3 years now we've said, all right, they're going to take that step forward, right? Bryson Stott, which has not happened. Alec Boehm, which, sure, batting average-wise, but power has not. Brandon Marsh has not taken a step forward.
No.
So you have your 3 core guys in Harper, Turner, Schwarber, who have come up small in the playoffs. And then your 3, we need these guys to take that next step forward, have not taken that next step forward. And so you're right. You're shifting Castellanos for Garcia. Very similar players except for the defense. The defense obviously much better for Garcia. We all recognize that. And you're switching out Kepler for Crawford? Or are you looking at me funny in there?
I'm just they're one move away potentially, right? And I don't know that they'll make
What's the one move away?
But if they were to re-sign Harrison Bader, that would be one move away from a completely different outfield than what they played with last year.
But then what if they commit to bringing back the old catcher and overpay for him? They're bidding against themselves. And I'm glad to see some of the Major League Baseball insiders are saying it. The Phillies are bidding against themselves. They're letting JT Realmuto literally hold them hostage. They're literally, call his bluff. Give him a date and say, we need to know. Because the Phillies have, multiple baseball insiders say the Phillies have a plan B. Give him a date. He's been here forever. Give him a freaking date. Because he's not doing what's best for the franchise by doing this.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I wish they had figured that out, and it's kind of weird that JT's taken as long as he has, so we'll see how that plays out. But, I don't know. I wouldn't say they're not running it back. I don't think that's an unfair read on this. But if they come in with 3 brand-new outfielders, and that's still a move away, that's a noticeable change. I don't know if it works, but it's different.
Do you feel good about the different?
If it's Bader, Crawford, Garcia, I can feel good about that outfield. I just don't know how realistic it is. So we got to see how it plays out still.
I don't believe Bader's coming back if they sign JT.
Right, which
I just don't believe they're doing that.
What people are assuming is the Strom move also opened up money to bring back JT.
No, but remember, the Strom money, too, is paying some of the money you have to eat
for
Castellanos. That's $20 million.
Yeah, it's a shame.
That's still on the books. John Middleton is not the endless dollars guy. He's not, especially for a team that is really underachieved the last 2 years. He's not just saying, let me give you 60, 70 million more to work with. He's not doing that. So you got to take the $20 million there. If JT comes back, I don't believe Bader's coming back.
You're probably right there.
So,
all right, you believe that? Well, not you believe. You know that the 2 seed is still alive.
It is still alive.
It is definitely still alive.
Here's the one thing though where it might not be. Okay, so just think of it this way: Detroit is going to play on Christmas. Okay, they're playing at Minnesota. Connor, there could be a I was asking you this morning, and I don't know if any of your family had received word on J.J. McCarthy, who had to leave the Giants game yesterday. If J.J. McCarthy isn't healthy for that Vikings game on Christmas, then the Lions should win.
Yeah, they should be, Bosmer? Is that
Which keeps which keeps them alive.
Rosmer.
Which would keep them alive for the last week of the year. Which that keeps them alive going into the last week of the year. Which means they could beat the Bears.
Right.
The Bears play at the 49ers next week.
But it's not till Sunday night.
It's Sunday night after the Eagles play.
Yeah.
So the Eagles have to play the Bills game going, okay, we beat the Bills. Bears lose at the 49ers. 2 seeds up for grabs.
Yeah.
And the Bears could lose to the Lions.
They could.
So you can't – then the Eagles have to play Week 18. You can't just – they cannot sell to the veterans in that clubhouse. Guys, 2 seeds up for grabs. We get a chance to have 2 home games, the same path we took to the Super Bowl last year. But you know what? We don't care about it. We're giving it up. We're going to give you guys a Week 18. We're giving it up. We don't care about it. I'd be floored if they would sell that to the veterans in the locker room. I don't believe they would accept that.
Unless the veterans are sitting there saying, my entire body feels like crap, and maybe we trust, hey, our playoff pedigree compared against these other teams, health is more valuable than the 2 seed to the 3 seed comparison. I don't know that they'll buy it, but I think there's an argument to be made there.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. Because to me, the second, like having 2 home games is just.
Oh, it's huge. Yeah.
It's huge. And then.
It's just a shame that the Niners play, or the Bears play at 8 o'clock Sunday night. Like if they played at 1 o'clock, we would be able to figure that out.
Right.
But unfortunately, that's not the case.
No, it's not. So Eagles are the national game.
There's a chance that the Eagles have to play Week 18.
Yes.
And that sucks. I'll be honest.
And would anybody in the Eagles fan base be okay if the 2 seeds up for grabs and they said call off the dogs?
I think there'd be people out
I
there
might
be
actually
okay.
be okay with it, yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Just saying, yeah, we're done.
I also know that Week 18 helped them out last year, man. At least I think. I don't know. We can't. I can't.
No.
There's no direct science correlating it, but
no. Players said it did.
Sure. So then there's my answer.
So you're not like guessing at that.
I would not hate it, but I get what you're saying. Like if you tell a player to his face, hey, we're not trying this week.
I mean, veterans. Here's the one thing I would tell you though: if Chicago does get the 2 seed, which I expect they will, and Green Bay is the 7 seed, you could see Green Bay, Jordan Love back healthy, upsetting Chicago in Chicago. I mean, you watched the game Saturday night; they could.
Yeah.
And then the Eagles would get the second playoff game. Home playoff game if they won their first game.
Next week will be really interesting if there is a decision to make about playing or not playing Week 18.
There you go.
That'll be our content for the week. All right, coming up next. Just how good is this Eagles defense? Another great stat that shows where they stand in the NFL. It's Kincade Salciunas, 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
Philly owns the East again. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Eagles are officially back-to-back NFC East champions after their victory in Washington over the weekend. It's the first time since 2004 that the NFC East has had a back-to-back champion. The longest streak in football is now over. And Nick Sirianni understood how big of an accomplishment that is for his team.
You know, it's hard to do this. Obviously, in this division, we've seen the data says, it's hard to repeat as winners in this division. We're happy about that. We'll celebrate it. We've got a lot to clean up, and then we got a lot more goals on our mind.
So the Eagles are now 10-5. They've locked up the division, which also gives them a playoff spot. Next up for them will be trying to improve their seeding. They're the 3 seed in the NFC playoff picture right now. 2 seeds still potentially up for grabs. Sixers had 2 wins over the weekend, beating the Knicks and the Mavericks on back-to-back nights Friday and Saturday. They're off tonight. They'll host the Nets tomorrow. The Flyers had a tough shootout loss to the Rangers on Saturday. They'll host the Canucks later on tonight. Puck drops at 7:30 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by Groundworks, your trained and certified experts for basement waterproofing and foundation repair since 1997. Book your free inspection at groundworks.com. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
Get yours today at your local Home Depot store. Doesn't that what it sound like?
I can't win with this damn guy. He wants Christmas music. He complains about the Christmas music.
I understand. We're all worried about copyright infringement.
No, you're not.
You don't understand.
I am. I don't want to get a fine from the SEC. I'm not kidding you. Dude, have you ever seen your station fined? Have you ever been a part of it?
No.
No, seriously. We're talking like thousands of dollars.
Pod that up.
And they're not happy with you when it happens.
You can get your HVAC system at the local Bryant Home Comfort Team. Visit nopaybryant.com.
That's pretty well done.
No, that's what it sounds like that.
It's okay.
By the way, that's Football Monday on the
That's okay.
Presented by the local Bryant Home Comfort Team.
You are a hard man to please.
Yeah, you're very, you know what? Okay, I got to tell you, you're a little edgy this morning.
I just want to get into the spirit.
A little edgy. Well, then you're not sounding it.
You're the only one stopping you.
Connor and I sound like we're hanging out at the we're hanging out at the spiked eggnog.
I'm having a great time.
And you're sitting over here like you're a little edgy, like maybe the Christmas. You're timing everything in the kitchen or something. Like you're a little nervous about everything coming out on time.
By the way, I just realized on YouTube I'm too low. I'm wearing my Lithuanian Christmas shirt. It says Linksmu Kaledu. That means Merry Christmas.
By the way,
I thought
that's
it was
awesome.
Meli Kalikimaka.
No, that's Hawaiian.
You can get them mixed up all
It's
the
the
time.
right way to say Merry Christmas to you. All right. Johnny, you sent me a number this morning about where the Eagles defense ranks in terms of points allowed
How about that?
this year.
The Eagles are now wait a minute. I want to make sure I've updated this morning. I want to make sure we get an update on this because it may have been even updated. Because last night, depending on what happened in the late games, I just want to make sure that I'm completely accurate. Because as of when I went to Longwood Gardens last night, along with every other person in humanity, the Eagles had moved into being a top 5 defense. And the only stat that matters, points allowed. That's what matters. Points allowed. That's what matters. That's how
but
you
in
judge.
the Bears game, they allowed 700 rushing yards.
I don't care about yards. By the way,
we can't let them off the hook. I remember Bill Colarulo.
You remember
saying
that? Don't let the defense off the hook. By the way, I was wrong. The Eagles are now a top 3 defense.
Who do they jump after?
They jumped the Kansas City Chiefs and the Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos, dude. That's more credit to what Trevor Lawrence did on Sunday,
So
yesterday.
the Eagles right now are 1.5 points behind last year's pace, where they were second in points allowed. And so the Houston Texans, who yesterday had to struggle to the last snap to beat the Raiders, by the way. Remember the Raiders, who the Eagles beat 31-0? Okay. And then the Seattle Seahawks, who now are just 0.7 points per game, better than the Eagles defense. The Eagles defense is rocking and rolling. And they are on an incredible run. They're a top 3 defense. And to me, that is pretty incredible. So I'm at this point going to say this going into the Christmas holiday. I am going to determine whether I think they can go to the Super Bowl or not. I know they can. But whether I think they will is all going to determine on what's the trifecta of quarterbacks they got to get through.
Right. Look, the defense is
because this defense can absolutely chump people.
Yeah.
And absolutely also hurt people. And so I'm really impressed. And I want to thank Vic Fangio for what he's done since he's been here and thank him for his service because the Eagles as a top 3 defense now. Good that we updated that. That's freaking awesome.
Oh, yeah, it is,
That
man.
is awesome.
Back-to-back years being toward the top.
And they are, and all 3 levels are contributing. And so glad to hear that Nakobe Dean's telling everybody he's fine.
Man, I got nervous.
But they got precautionary in that game.
I got nervous, man.
I did too. But
just a hamstring.
Did you see right off the bat, it looked like there was a problem when they had to go to Jihad Campbell. But then he sort of settled it.
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't been playing much.
Well,
so.
I mean, in the beginning, they got gashed a little bit in the running game when Jihad Campbell came in. And then it settled down. Yeah, but Nakobe fine, and Nakobe doing good works in the community yesterday is awesome. And just, gosh, get those Georgia dogs all healthy.
Yep. Get them paid. All right, you're listening to 97.5 The Fanatic, WPEN, HD1, Burlington, Philadelphia, A. Beasley Media Station, broadcasting live from the Comcast Business Studio, powering possibilities.
Time now for the Kincade
What's that?
It was make adjustments, and it was not be a predictable offense. It's amazing. There were 2 drives in the first half, one of which was basically all passes, and the other drive was all runs, right? It wasn't like, okay, this is what we do, so we're going to keep doing it. Now, look, in the second half, we saw them move the ball a little bit better when they went under center. I don't understand the first half. Let's go in the gun constantly.
Were you yelling at the TV?
Yes, I was.
Were you yelling at the TV going, what did we just see the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And why are we not doing it against a crappy Commanders team?
Yeah. Unless they were trying to try things.
Why?
I don't know.
Win the game first. Win the damn game first and then worry about trying things later. I didn't understand.
No, I get
Didn't
it.
understand it at all.
But I liked
hey.
the different look of the offense. It's the third
I
straight
did too.
week we're talking about how the offense looks different. Now, we can talk till we're blue in the face about whether or not this is going to win them something big picture. I just like little steps at a time right now. We're finally starting to see different things from the Eagles offense and not just this is what got us here last year, so we're going to do it again this year. I hated it. I hated the copy-paste mentality that they had. Then they had an identity crisis against the Chargers where they had Jalen Hurts throw the ball 40 times, which is not something that works with this
football.
football.
Celebrate Festivus for the rest of us.
But before we do any of those celebrating, we get to celebrate the second straight win for the Philadelphia Eagles and the second straight division title for the Philadelphia Eagles after beating the Commanders on Saturday, which was beautiful, by the way. It was really nice to watch the game. We were just talking about it right before the show started. Our lives were impacted in great ways. That it was like a Saturday, 5 o'clock. We had all day Saturday to do whatever we wanted. Then you had the night game with the Packers and Bears, which was insane afterward. And then yesterday we got to just relax because it felt good that the Eagles got the job done on Saturday.
That was fantastic. It wasn't bad at all.
No, it was actually great. I want more
really
of this.
good.
More Saturday 5 o'clock games for us morning show people, please.
Well, they aren't allowed, remember, because of the collegiate with the congressional rules. They can't play the Saturday games till this time of year. So they're not
Make
allowed.
a phone call. Try to get the office to change that.
They're not allowed to do that.
I love the Saturday football. It was great.
Oh, it's absolutely awesome.
So
I mean, it was fantastic.
So the Eagles beat the Commanders 29-18, and once again a tale of two halves. Thanks to Jake Elliott, we'll talk about in a little bit. But Eagles go to halftime trailing 10-7 to the Commanders. Eagles were moving the ball downfield. Obviously, costly penalties will continue to hurt them this year, but they're moving the ball downfield. If Jake Elliott makes one field goal, it's a tie ball game going into halftime. If he makes both of his field goals, they're winning at halftime. And I think we're talking a little bit differently about the first half performance because then the second half, they scored 22 points. Touchdown the third quarter, 15 in the fourth quarter. We'll get into the 2-point conversion. There's a lot to digest from this game. But, John, for the first time all season, I saw the Eagles do something all season. And it was make adjustments. And it was not be a predictable offense. It's amazing. There were 2 drives in the first half, one of which was basically all passes, and the other drive was all runs, right? It wasn't like, okay, this is what we do, so we're going to keep doing it. Now, look, in the second half, we saw them move the ball a little bit better when they went under center. I don't understand the first half. Let's go in the gun constantly.
Were you yelling at the TV?
Yes, I was.
Were you yelling at the TV going, what did we just see the last 2 weeks?
Yeah.
And why are we not doing it against a crappy Commanders team?
Yeah. Unless they were trying to try things.
Why?
I don't know.
Win the game first. Win the damn game first and then worry about trying things later. I didn't understand it.
No, I get it.
Didn't understand it at all.
But I liked the different look of the offense. It's the third straight week we're talking about how the offense looks different. Now, we can talk till we're blue in the face about whether or not this is going to win them something big picture. I just like little steps at a time right now. We're finally starting to see different things from the Eagles offense and not just this is what got us here last year, so we're going to do it again this year. I hated it. I hated the copy-paste mentality that they had. Then they had an identity crisis against the Chargers where they had Jalen Hurts throw the ball 40 times, which is not something that works with this football team. And maybe they're sort of coming into form of figuring out who they are as an offense.
And Saquon was my favorite part of it.
Yeah, he was great.
That was my favorite part of it.
21 carries, 132 yards, and a touchdown.
We're all of a sudden seeing more holes being busted for him, and we're also seeing Saquon look more like Saquon.
Because the offense isn't predictable. That's the other thing. Like, you knew half the time what they were about to run. And this was the first game where I was going, wow, I did not expect that. Wow, that looked different. Wow, how about that? It was the first, and it looked clean, right? Like it did look clean. The Chargers game, they tried different things, but there was 4 interceptions thrown. The Raiders game, they did things differently, and then Jalen only ended up throwing the ball 15 times because they didn't have to, right? Because they were up big so early. This was kind of the first game where you're going, all right, finally. Why did it take this long? That's a different conversation. But 15 games into the season, I finally liked what I saw from the offense.
I did too, and glad to see it, and glad that the offensive line at least cobbled together something that was credible. And there were still too many run plays where they were just running Saquon right up the middle.
Right, and he's just getting stuffed
but
every
again,
time.
he is now like what? He's now like 50 yards from being a top 7 rusher in the NFL in his terrible year. It's good. It's just good to see. I'm happy with that. AJ with a ton of targets, and he was producing.
Yeah.
And Dallas Goedert continues to be just that touchdown from Jalen to Dallas. That's one of the prettiest plays of the year.
Yes,
to me.
Completely agree.
And it was a clutch play from both of them.
Yeah.
And Dallas Goedert has been so clutch. But Jalen Hurts, that was clutch.
So that was
a huge play.
That was a play where I really hope the people that were way overboard just 2 weeks ago, wanting to bench Jalen Hurts or questioning the future of Jalen Hurts, or could this be the last year? There were people that were wondering, hey, would Howie make a drastic? We've seen it before with Carson Wentz. That was 2 weeks ago. And I wonder if a lot of people realized, all right, maybe I was a little over the top, or maybe I got my clicks for the week.
No, they got their clicks.
It was nonsense.
And today it'll be, do you believe what you saw?
Right.
Do you believe what you saw in Jalen Hurts?
Jalen Hurts, except for that one pass to AJ on the sideline where he overthrew him, he was tremendous all game long.
No, though, I'm gonna also agree with Greg Olson on that. AJ's got to go up for that. He's got to at least give an attempt to go after that. Greg Olson flat out said, you got to go up for it. He goes, you may not land in bounds, but you got to go up for that. You got to make an attempt at it. But I didn't think it was.
I don't think he was going to get it.
I don't think it was a very good throw.
No, it was a horrible throw. But other than that, he was spectacular.
It was unbelievable.
And I wonder how many people realize they went overboard a couple of weeks ago.
There are so many things that I wake up today feeling just so much better about this team. And I think about all that they managed to do and all that they've done without Jalen Carter and without Lane Johnson.
Yep.
This run that they've been getting right on has been without, arguably, their most pivotal player on offense. Because Lane Johnson...
You know the record without him? Yeah.
Exactly. And then their most potentially pivotal player on defense?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. And that's a credit to Fred Johnson and a credit to Jordan Davis, who was a beast yet again on Saturday.
And he's another one overcoming the slander police.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But
he's being labeled a bust ever since he got drafted.
But he also, all of a sudden, took his conditioning seriously and things like that. So there's a lot that he's done to change that.
So the Eagles' offense, the
final hour of Kincade Salciunas is presented to you by the Bagster. It's a dumpster in a bag. You can get yours today at Home Depot and Lowe's. You need details? Go to Bagster.com.
What, are you tired of hearing me complain about the Christmas music?
See? Now no one gets Christmas music.
You didn't play any there?
Christmas is canceled.
It is Kincade and Salciunas here on 97.5.
Little grumpy on this.
I don't like stock Christmas music. It doesn't feel festive to me. That's all. It doesn't feel festive.
Little grumpy today.
And I'm a festive man.
I
like
think
Dan
you
Quinn.
did. I think exactly. I just was about to say
They're going to find out about us.
Oh, yeah.
About what? Dude, your team stinks.
My gosh.
And don't give me the quarterback thing, 2-6 with Jaden Daniels. We saw this 75,000 miles away, John, that it was not going to be good this year for them.
No, we saw it.
They're too old. They're too old. And they batted 1,000 last year, and I give them credit.
Yes,
I give them credit for the batting of 1,000 last year. And then they got to the NFC Championship game, found out what a real football team looks like, lose, and then they tried running it back. It sounds like the Phillies.
They just and we asked Bram about it. Why'd you? They really thought they were that close.
They really thought they were that. Which, look, you get to the NFC Championship game, I get it, but I don't know.
It's unbelievable.
Sometimes you can see things from 75,000 miles away. All right, in a couple minutes, I apparently cursed the Flyers and a great weekend for the Sixers. But real quick, we mentioned it going to the break. Jake Elliott's a problem, I don't. We talked to DeCecco earlier today. You're not going to just bring in a kicker at this stage of the season. But
by the way, Ruben Frank suggests it.
I would bring in a competition.
Other beat writers suggesting bring in. There are college kickers. How about in Division I football? There are 53 of them.
Well, yeah, you can't bring them in now.
No, but you can bring in guys who have played college football that have made just this year alone. There are 53 guys who can make these kicks routinely that he's missing. So that means there are guys who graduated last year, the guys that are out there that they know in football circles that you can bring in to push these guys. The Giants assigned a kicker on Wednesday. They had kicking tryouts last week with 5 guys in. There are guys that are out.
They got rid of Youngway.
There are guys. Well, you better. Don't bring him in.
In fairness, he couldn't even make contact with the football.
You don't bring him.
That was horrible. I've never seen anything like that.
You do not bring him in. But I mean, it's not that hard to think. Yeah, you might want to think about bringing some people in and pushing.
I just can't believe we're having this conversation again. Because
it
was literally last year. We had the exact same thing last year.
I have called for this all year long, though. This is something they've just ignored. They want to ignore it. They're willfully ignorant on this. They just want to be ignorant on it.
Yeah, you still do have the playoff history, though. Like, I'm not feeling – last year I defended Jake Elliott, and it paid off in the postseason. I'm not feeling that same way this year because when you have 2 down years in a row. But it would be unfair to say he doesn't have big-time kicks in the postseason where he's been really good for this team, and they're leaning on that. That's their choice. It is a little late to make that change.
Yeah, he made.
Well, they've ignored it all year, though. It didn't. You see, it didn't. But that's the thing. It didn't have to be.
It's amazing.
Late.
He started 6 for 6. All right, through 7 weeks. He did not need to attempt a field goal against the Rams. Made all 3 extra points. Then he goes 0 for 1 against the Vikings, 1 for 2 against the Giants, 1 for 1 against the Packers, and 3 for 3 against the Lions in the windy condition. Like, that was actually all right. Great job, Jake. And then since then, 0 of 1 against the Cowboys, 1 of 2 against the Bears, 4 of 5 against the Chargers, where you lose in overtime, 1 of 1 against the Raiders, 0 of 2 Saturday against the Commanders, and technically 3, if not for the phantom. Well, no, because it was the same drive, right? Didn't he miss? He missed 2 on 1 drive.
Yeah,
sure. Unbelievable.
He's a big game kicker. These games just haven't been big enough.
Sure. All right, so I curse the Flyers. Connor constantly reminds me.
Connor, you identified this immediately.
Go ahead. What'd I do?
So when we had head coach Rick Tocchet of the Philadelphia Flyers on the show.
When we had Tock on.
Yeah, Tock.
My buddy Tock.
Your pal. He's not going to be your buddy anymore.
Not anymore.
Because your leadoff question was, hey, the Flyers have basically never been good at winning shootouts, and now you are. How did that happen? And since then, they have won a total of 0 shootouts.
Yeah, they lose every one now.
It's been 2 or 3.
No, 4.
0 and 3?
No, 4.
Has it been 4?
Yes.
5,
Let me see.
maybe 6.
No, wait.
Who knows
they
where
lost
the number is?
To the Rangers, Carolina, Vegas, 4. They lost 4, right? I'm looking here. Well, one of them was
Vegas was in overtime.
They lost 3. Okay, they lost 3. 3 shootouts. So they haven't won since you jinxed them.
thought you don't believe in jinxes.
No, but you do. So I'm
I
giving you your word.
I thought John was
there it
believing in jinxes. So yeah, sorry about that, Flyers fans. Sixers.
How do they crush them like that?
Sixers, by the way, great weekend. Beating the Knicks on the road was a big win for them. 116-107. That was Friday night.
Nice effort.
And then they had the back-to-back. So, of course, obviously, Joel Embiid did not play in the next game against the Mavericks, where Anthony Davis did play. Cooper Flagg did play for the Mavericks. And the Sixers host Dallas, and they win 121-114. Tyrese Maxey, again, a beast, 38 points. How about 26 from VJ Edgecombe, which is great to see because, remember, he had the incredible start to his career. Then he kind of quieted down for a while. And his last 4 games, 26 points against the Mavericks, 23 in New York against the Knicks. For a rookie to go in there, and that's with Embiid and with Paul George. You go in there, you scored 23. He had 26 against the Hawks, 22 against the Pacers. He scored at least 20 points in his last 4 games. Good to see, and he's hitting the 3 ball well. Not against Dallas, 3 of 11, but 3 of 6 against New York, 4 of 10 against Atlanta, and 3 of 5 against the Pacers. It's good to see the rookie sort of contributing offensively.
Sexy as hell.
His offensive play has been sexy as hell. It has been. You know what? I agree, VJ. Your offensive play has been sexy as hell. Averaging 16 points, 5.5 rebounds, game 4 assists. It's not bad for the rook.
It's good analysis.
Love everything about his energy, his approach. It's fun. It's fun.
Absolutely.
Some of these young guys, it's great.
It is great. And this is how crazy the East is. Those 2 wins, they're the 4 seed. They jumped from like the 7th seed to the 4th seed because of 2 wins. The East is so tight other than really the Pistons and the Knicks. The Celtics have 1 more win than the Sixers. It's going to be a wild ride. And it's all going to matter to one thing, and one thing only, playoffs. All right, coming up next, Connor will give his 3 observations. We got to get back to our text messages about this not even close. Apparently, well, you're with me, too. You're in the minority, too, Connor. It's
you guys have gotten crushed on this.
Except for former Eagles that are on our side.
This is like the NFC title game all over again, and you're the commodes.
It's all right. We got Eagles players on our side. We'll continue it next. 97.5 The Fanatic.
Now on 97.5 The Fanatic Sports Update.
The Eagles win the East. I'm Connor Thomas, and the Philadelphia Eagles are officially back-to-back NFC East champions after their win in Washington over the weekend. It's the first time since back in 2004 that the division has had a back-to-back champion. It was the Birds back then as well. And that fact of how long it's been, how difficult it's been to have this type of repeat success was not lost on Jalen Hurts. He talked about it after the game.
We got a lot of ball in front of us. It's a great accomplishment today, given all the success and all the competitive football that is going on in this division over the last 20-plus years. To be able to win it back-to-back is a huge accomplishment.
So the Eagles are now 10-5. They've locked up the division, and with that, a playoff spot. But next up for them is trying to figure out their seeding. They're currently the 3 seed. The 2 seed in the NFC is still in place, so we'll see how they handle that over the coming weeks. The Sixers had 2 wins over the weekend, taking the Knicks and Mavericks down on Friday and Saturday. They're off tonight. They'll host the Nets tomorrow night. The Flyers had a tough shootout loss to the Rangers, thanks to Salciunas, on Saturday. They host the Vancouver Canucks later on tonight. Puck drop is at 7:30 p.m. You can hear that game live right here on 97.5 The Fanatic. This update is brought to you by SuperSure. Do you own a small business? You need to hear this. A seismic shift is coming. It's time to get super sure. Not kind of sure, not pretty sure, but super sure. Coming soon. I'm Connor Thomas for the home of the Sixers, Flyers, and the best Birds coverage. 97.5 The Fanatic and 97.5thefanatic.com.
9:28. Get the DVD of Mickey's Special Christmas.
This is nothing. Doesn't sound anything like this. Come on now.
Honestly, it kind of sounded like Mario 64.
By the way, have you ever
He's in
done
the castle?
Have you ever done Disney at Christmas?
Yes.
Oh, you have?
I did. I actually did New Year's. We did the countdown, New Year's Eve.
Oh my gosh, I almost passed.
Horrible.
Well, I was going to say the same thing.
It's a memory that I'll always have.
Yeah, mine
and
is.
My parents, I told you, like my dad brought me to a Sixers game when Michael Jordan played for the Wizards to be able to say, I did this, right? So they wanted to do my grandparents lived in Florida, so we always had a place to stay. So we did the New Year's Eve, and I think we didn't leave that place till like 2:30 in the morning. Because there were so many people.
It is.
You're waiting on the trolleys.
I'm going to tell you, it's nasty. It's nasty at the holidays. They cram so many people into those parks.
Yeah.
And it is, to me, it's too crowded.
Yeah, I didn't like
I
it.
swore, I told my girl, I said, I'll never do it again. Never.
Yeah.
Dickie, what was it? Not Dickie's. Mickey's Magical Christmas or something.
Dickie's Magical Christmas.
I said, there's nothing magical.
That's in Vegas.
Yeah, it was terrible.
All right. Real quick, did you guys see what Mark Andrews did yesterday?
Yeah.
In the Ravens game? What the hell was that? There was 14 seconds left, and they had 2 timeouts. It was before halftime. They had 2 timeouts left. Mark Andrews catches a pass over the middle of the field. He's getting tackled, and he tries lateraling it to nobody. And the Patriots recover on the 40-yard line, now in Baltimore territory. What is that?
Trying to make a play. I like the idea.
Like, it's stupid.
That's so dumb.
You have 2 timeouts left. You get tackled. You call a timeout. What are you doing lateraling it? And now all of a sudden you give the ball back to New England on the 40-yard line.
Hey, you can't have a brutal forced fumble if you choose to throw the ball yourself.
God, it's horrible.
Zay Flowers should learn about that.
Also,
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Johnny Sunshine, John Clark. Good news for Sunday in Buffalo. Jalen Carter and Lane Johnson should both be back. Lane has missed 5 straight games with his foot injury. Jalen Carter has missed 3 games after having a procedure on his shoulders. The Eagles are getting healthy for the final few games heading into the playoffs. I still worry about playing those guys. I'll be completely honest.
What are you worrying about? Because we don't know what the doctors have said.
No, I know.
Well, the Eagles doctors are not putting him. The Eagles doctors
they're
are
not
not
gonna put
putting
him
them
in
out there if they're
I know.
in peril. And the players obviously want to play. So what are you worried about?
I wouldn't mind waiting till playoffs. Some of these guys.
They got to still win. They still got to lock up the 3 seed.
I know. The Jalen Carter one's weird because it's not a cert. It was just a procedure.
Yeah, but it's these procedures. If you go read, and then with the whole thing about it is, it's got a good. They've done a good job of. It does a good job of lowering the inflammation and everything like that. And obviously, the doctors are pleased with what they've seen, so they're feeling good about him. That's good.
All right,
it's good.
Let's go, Birds. All right, Connor, hit us up with your 3 observations from the rest of the NFL.
All right. Well, let's start off with this one. I think this is a fun thought that I had yesterday preparing for this. Who's the coach of the year this year in the NFL? There are a lot
Chicago.
of really good candidates.
Yeah, Ben
Chicago,
Johnson.
Ben Johnson.
It has to be.
Is
Ben
it?
Johnson, yes.
Or is it Mike Vrabel in New England?
Ben Johnson.
Is it Liam Cohen in Jacksonville?
Ben Johnson.
There-
To me, I think it's bad. I can understand.
Is it Mike McDonald out in Seattle?
No.
I mean, there are a lot of candidates.
I think you've got you just named a great crew. Are you kidding me?
And there are
Great crew.
more to run through as well. I mean, you have some really good turnaround jobs. You have some really good executing on potential jobs. There are a lot of interesting conversations about where guys could go as far as coach of the year is concerned. I would probably give it to Ben Johnson, but my close second would probably be Liam Cohen down
I
in
think Liam
Jacksonville.
Cohen is Liam Cohen could still get the number 1 seed too.
Yeah.
So
here's why I would say Ben Johnson, because people were labeling Caleb Williams a bust after 1 year.
They were.
Especially because the guy that got drafted 1 pick after him goes all the way to the NFC Championship game. I don't think anybody was labeling Drake May a bust. So for the Vrabel aspect of it. Liam Cohen, look, he is the first guy that gets something out of Trevor Lawrence, but let's not act like Trevor Lawrence is in year 2 of his career. The Seattle one's interesting because of the Darnold effect. But Ben Johnson took what was labeled a bust after 17 games, and they're now 11-4, winning arguably one of the tougher divisions in the NFL. Right, do we agree the NFC North is probably the best division in football?
Yeah, it's either the North or the West.
So that goes to your Seattle. So it's one of those.
I'm telling you, Connor, the West is the toughest division. I mean, that's 3 teams that are playing great ball. You got 11 wins, tonight, another team with 11 wins.
Yeah, it's fun because I just feel like every year there's normally the one guy who kind of comes out of nowhere. This year, there's a good crop of head coaches out there.
I'm reading an article from BetMGM.com. So
okay.
Take that with what you want because they set the odds. They have Mike Vrabel as the favorite at plus 175. He was minus 250.
Well, they were 4 wins last year.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good resume.
He was minus 250 before the Bills' loss. And then the loss, they still at the favorite, but he's plus 175. But again, take it with a grain of salt that a sports book is writing articles about odds.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Hell, give it to Brian Dable again. Give him a second. All right. Next, we kind of mentioned this before. Are you guys thinking the Eagles' win over the Raiders looks a little bit better after watching them play the Texans to a loss, but a 23-21 loss?
Let's just say every time they play really good teams in the AFC, they played great, but everybody discounted.
They had Geno Smith back.
I was about to say. I'm not a Geno fan, but Geno's better than Kenny.
So now people are going to tell me that it's Geno Smith, who everybody usually is trashing?
No, but compared to Kenny Pickett.
Okay, wait.
No, but here's what I'm not going to all of a sudden say the Texans' defense isn't that good just because they gave up 21 points. Like, the Texans' defense is legit.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
And the Raiders moved it up and down the field on them all day long.
Yeah, I don't want to overstate it because weird stuff happens every week in the NFL, but I think the Eagles look a little bit better for that 31-0.
Yeah, I'd say so.
Let's talk about
I'd say Texans have still one of the better defenses in the NFL.
Yeah, I'm not saying that.
Just because they gave up 21 points to the Raiders doesn't mean they all of a sudden are middle of the pack defense.
No, I don't think
No,
anyone's
it's just
that.
the Raiders are not the garbage
Raiders
bag
suck.
juice that everybody says, and that's how they manage to play the best teams in the AFC really, really tight.
The Raiders stink. God.
All right, Mr. Christmas Music.
Yes.
You know what time it is.
They're still alive.
Yeah, 8% chance for your Baltimore Ravens as NFC North champions.
Okay, next Monday, Twirly Bird Hat Day, Connor.
I'm excited for it.
I don't have to wear it Monday. I can pick my day.
No.
No. They're
John
limited.
is going to have some vacation time coming up, and he's got to be here for it. So
I want to be here
it's going to be next Monday.
Yeah, next Monday.
Make sure you have the hat
because that's when it's over, and and you're a man of your word.
No, I will wear it. You guys know that I will wear it.
You'll pay it off. Next Monday. It'll be good. Twirly Hat Day. It'll be good.
2 in 1 year is a tough look.
That's his. It's a rough.
How's
look.
it 2 in 1 year? Or how's that a tough? No, but how's that a tough look? I'll wear whatever. I don't care. I'll wear it for fun.
No, you're not.
I thought I looked good in it.
Sure.
Of course you
did. Baltimore Ravens not going to win the NFC North. You heard it here
they're
first.
not. Yeah.
By the way, you're lucky they played the Raiders.
Yeah. There you go.
Because they only scored 29 against the Commanders.
By the way, thanks to Bet Parks, our picks. Little update. Connor and Andrew were having a death match here as Connor went 2-2 and Andrew went 2-2.
I've just been consistently 2-2.
Yeah, you guys are 2-2. No, you almost won another week. You could tie for another week. You could get to pick first again, because Andrew went 2-2, Connor went 2-2, Connor at 30-34 in the year, Andrew at 31-33 in the year. I'm 2-1 sitting on tonight's game. Last one, 49ers minus 5.5 tonight. I feel very good about that. Maybe I feel too good about it, but I'm at 38-25. So. Not clinching yet because we do pick through the playoffs. But
I'm 2 under, 500.
You're 2 under.
2 under. All right.
But you're there. I mean, you're nice. Second place.
Playing exactly the way I want to play it.
So am I.
What, to stay ahead of Connor?
You're the one that lost the lead.
You hear those footsteps? I told you earlier.
Lost the lead.
It's like Mario Kart. You drop back, you get the blue shell, you take out the guy.
Dude, you lost the lead. Like, you're acting like you did something. You lost the lead.
It all depends what narrative you build.
Well, Connor, you're only one game back. It's not like there's.
My locker room vibes are great. We just got this cool rabbit.
And we picked through the playoffs. We have 4 picks.
There's a lot of talk from Mr. Third Place over there for a while.
We're developing an identity.
There you go.
Third place, a lot of chit-chat. All right, coming up next, can we put some narratives to bed after Saturday's game? I have some. I wonder if John and Connor have some. We'll check our text line as well. It is Kincade and Salciunas on this Victory Monday, 97.5, The Fanatic.
The
Yeah, this is better than Wham.
No.
So I got a mouthful of peanut butter crackers. Hungry. By the way, Sean Brace in today to do Middays with Marks with Johnny Marks.
Sean looking festive. John looking festive. Ray looking festive.
They all look great. He's looking at the college slate. Washington State, Utah State.
Is he
Bowl,
really?
College Bowl action.
Come on, Brace.
We all knew that the Oregon game was going to play out the way that it did, right? Yeah. So, again, congratulations to the Green Wave. Congratulations to the Dukes. They should not play in the college football playoff. We spend so much time of, should Notre Dame be in it or should Miami be in it? How about both? How about they should have both been in it, and we should not give a spot to a school that has no shot of winning. Now
We
they
agree.
You literally have an NIT in basketball, right? You have a field of 65,000 schools, and then you have a second tournament too for the teams that can't make it into the field of 65,000. Why can't you do that in the college football playoffs? Have an NIT version.
Look, you and I both saying this, and like we're Temple guys. We could benefit. Yeah. We could benefit from this system, which is a social welfare system. We could benefit from this one day, and boy, be like, yeah, Temple made the college football playoff. If you're going to have a college football playoff, have the best teams in it.
Yeah.
And don't give me the idea of, well, it's like the NCAA tournament. No, because people like Jim Boeheim have managed to get that bloated thing up to 68 teams. If it was a 68-team tournament, I'm all in on having those conference
By the way,
teams.
In basketball, a guy can get hot from 3 for a day.
Correct.
You can't get hot on offense for a day.
This is a joke.
They gave up 51 points to
It's
the
a
Ducks.
joke. A joke. Stop it. Stop. And our team could benefit from this one day. Really could. Could benefit. One day we could see Temple. Next year, we could see Temple in.
Ole Miss, without their head coach, put up 41 points and won 41-10 over the Green Wave.
I mean, seriously.
Yeah, that game was tighter than the score, though.
No, it wasn't.
I know.
It's stupid. I get it. You want to give every school a shot, but you know what is real? They don't have a shot. Let's say JMU did upset Oregon. Then what? You think they're going on a run? Do you think who is the guy that sells insurance now? The guy, the 3-point shooter, the 6'8" white dude that went off in the tournament last year.
Oh.
Or 2 years ago.
Oh,
now.
my God. Why can't I remember his name?
He's like an insurance sales guy now. But, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get a football team does not go on a run. A basketball team can because you can have one guy that gets hot and the other team goes cold. In football, the air attack's not working. Let's go to the ground. We are an SEC school, or we are Oregon, and we're going to beat up your small JMU school.
Jack Golke.
Thank you.
Very good.
I looked it up. I Googled March Madness white guy shooter.
Did you really?
It was the first thing that came up. Shout out to Jack Golke.
Don't Google white guy shooter, because then you get a lot of people.
March Madness.
That's bad. Yeah. All right. Can we put the Saquon Barkley doesn't look like himself narrative to bed after Saturday? Do we feel comfortable saying that?
Yes.
Yeah. Can we put that Jalen Hurts stinks narrative to bed?
Yeah, these are ones, thankfully, we didn't use on this show.
Right. There are a lot of people. I saw in our YouTube chat, there's a lot of people that are very critical of Jalen Hurts. You guys started calling people Jalenites who would come to defend Jalen Hurts. I don't think there's a term for it. I think it's, do you think he sucks, yes or no? The answer is no. Do you believe there are quarterbacks that are better than him and you wonder, all right, what if that quarterback played on our team? Sure. Well, we all have that. It happens in life. Well, it all happens. But you can't just say that he stinks. He does not stink. That narrative needs to be put to bed, too.
A Super Bowl MVP, a champion, a guy who has performed as well as he has on big stages. No, he does not stink. That's bottom line.
Any other narratives put to bed?
Well, I think the further the last 3 weeks have gone on, Kevin Petula wasn't ready for the job has been a narrative that has been reinforced.
Yeah, you could be right.
That's a narrative that has been...
Because that's when Sirianni took
That's a
over.
narrative that has been completely reinforced. The minute that Nick Sirianni... Now, look, of all people, Nick Sirianni getting involved has helped your offense. A guy who has told us
amazing,
publicly.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, good. I'm glad that the head coach...
too. I'm glad, too. And it shows us maybe that Nick Sirianni's learned some things over the last few years that have made him better.
Yeah.
So that's good.
All right. I have a question before we get to our text line. So, strange, I just saw a Stranger Things trailer pop up because the next drop is
the 25th.
Christmas. It's on Christmas, yeah. Why wouldn't you do it on Eve or the day after Christmas when people are still probably off?
Because people are dying for stuff to do on Christmas night.
Okay.
Christmas night is much like the night before Thanksgiving.
Sure.
It's a big people are looking for something to do that night.
Maybe because personally, Christmas night was always the party at the Salciunas household. It's the party now at the Salciunas household. But, like, I'm not sitting down to watch Netflix on Christmas.
See, I think my daughter will be one of those people that will be absolutely saddled in. Probably, what time does it drop?
I think they said 5.
Okay, my daughter will be dropped in by like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, because she's a night owl, which neither one of her parents are, so we have no idea where it came from. So she will be up till how do they drop them all at once?
Yes.
How many hours? We talking?
I think they're like an hour and a half.
How many episodes will that be?
3?
Oh, she'll watch that all. She will watch it all. She will be up
so that's
till
about 5.5 hours.
She'll be up till she'll watch it 3 till 2 in the morning, 3 in the morning, if she had to.
Okay.
Because she will be afraid of it being spoiled by one of her friends.
Right, because you don't want that. Right.
It's also the end of the series. So it's not like people who are going to watch it are going to watch it regardless of when it drops.
Now, will you watch it, Connor, multiple times?
Hell no.
Okay, good.
I'm not a multi-watcher.
Thank you for being normal. Because my child will watch it.
Yeah, no, I don't.
She'll go watch it with her friends, then she'll watch it herself, then she'll watch it with her friends, then she'll watch it with. And I'm like, you just watched it.
Yeah, if you've seen it, you've seen it.
I think her and her friends, they saw the second Wicked. I think they saw it 3 times.
Yeah.
In a matter of like a week and a half.
A movie's a little different.
Really?
I've seen Interstellar like 40 times.
But you didn't see it 3 times in a week.
I saw Dune when it came out 3 times in like a month. Yeah.
The final,
she loved
the
Dune.
final Stranger Things, I think, is going to be 2 hours long, so you pretty much are watching a movie, the final episode. All right, what do we got on the text line? Give us a couple text messages that we've been talking about throughout the course of the show on this Victory Monday for the Eagles.
I think this is an interesting point on the different eras, whether this stretch of 5 years is better or clearly better than the 2000s.
Not even close with the words.
Not even close was the...
So this texter says, if everyone unanimously agrees that this stretch is better than the early 2000s, which we all do in this room, then it truly is not even close. Close would mean it's possible to debate both sides.
Yeah, but I think winning the Super Bowl is what makes everyone say it's this era.
I see and I do not. I think that absolutely 2 Super Bowl trips is part of it, but I think that it is the way that the 3 biggest stages that era is based on. The 3 biggest events are 3 of the biggest gag jobs in Philadelphia sports history. It's terrible. They're terrible memories. Like it's celebrating the Titanic and 9/11 and all these horrible things that happened in this country all at once. It's like it's all awful. Yes, there's a lot of regular season wins, but they literally
if that's
won.
the Titanic, then what is like a 5-year span for the Cleveland Browns?
They literally won 1 playoff game and then blew it in the worst way against Tampa. They literally won 1 playoff game and then blew it in the worst way possible against Carolina. And then they won 2 playoff games and got to the Super Bowl and just 3 interceptions by Donovan McNabb and lost a Super Bowl by 3 points. I mean, seriously, think about that. 3 interceptions and you lost a Super Bowl by 3 points.
Yeah.
I mean, those are 3 of the worst gag jobs ever.
Great era, though.
Oh, gosh.
Would you not? All right, you wouldn't call it a great era?
At the time it was because it was, no, at the time I would call it the greatest era because we had, again, age-wise, we had nothing else.
Right.
But it's like saying, okay, it's right before Christmas, so I'll do. There are times in life where maybe you experience something as a man, and then you get a different girlfriend or whatever.
Sure.
And then you experience something and you go, oh, my gosh, I thought that was great.
And that's why you get married, baby.
But now I realize that wasn't great.
And that's why you get married.
Yeah, it was great. This was what was great. I thought that was great. It wasn't. That wasn't great.
I think there's very interesting philosophy to this because, like, if I think back to my early 20s where I had no money, I was drinking the worst beer on the planet, but I was hanging out with my boys, like, that was a great time.
It was
and
great
if I look
in that
back
era.
now,
Yes.
I'm like, wow, I was living like a homeless person.
What's changed?
Well,
but you know what, though?
I'm older.
You look back fondly.
Exactly.
You look back fondly at all those things. Like, I'll look back fondly at 2025, and look back fondly at 2025 and say, no matter what happens with this year, that Super Bowl, that parade was great and everything like that. But I'm really interested to see how this 2025 season plays out.
All right, life-saving cancer research.
H&H Heating and Air Conditioning made a donation to the AACR, and you can too. Go to 97.5thefanatic.com/AACR. because I'm living proof 3 times over that cancer research saves lives.
Happy early birthday, Johnny.
Thank you,
Merry
buddy.
Christmas,
I'll
Johnny.
see you guys after Christmas. I'll see you next Monday. Hopefully, a propeller hat Monday.
Yeah, I would love that.
And hopefully, you guys have a blessed Christmas. Everybody healthy, happy. Enjoy yourselves.
Ravens play Saturday. Never mind.
Should be a lot of fun.
All right, Johnny. Enjoy yourself
Take care,
tomorrow.
buddy.
Happy birthday. Everybody have a great day. Connor and I will be back at it tomorrow here on the Fanatic.